if maybe you really should stick to pickleball and other boomer stuff. So use Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer and be confident you're getting insurance that's right for you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom.
That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from...
We can be twinsies.
...to...
How was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom.
Freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. Member FDIC.
Picture your dream bathroom. Got it? How about making it happen with David Duvall and One Bath & Closets? For more than 3 decades, David's been remodeling homes with a concentration on the most popular room in your home, your bathroom. Whether it's a tub to shower conversion or a complete renovation, the great thing about One Bath & Closets is that David handles everything. One company, one contractor, One Bath & Closets. Check out the gallery of his most recent projects and schedule your free in-home consultation online at onebathandclosets.com. That's onebathandclosets.com.
When your business needs a van that delivers, the Mercedes-Benz Sprinter is built for performance, space, and reliability. With best-in-class cargo capacity, advanced safety features, and the durability you expect, the Sprinter is ready for any job. And with inventory catching up, Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge has a full selection of Sprinter vans available now. Plus, take advantage of Section 179 tax savings by purchasing before year-end and potentially deduct the full costs from your 2024 taxes. Visit us on the Airline Highway in Baton Rouge or at mbobr.com today.
Why do billion-dollar insurance companies regularly delay and deny valid claims? Because that's how they got to be billion-dollar insurance companies. If you've been injured, I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7969.
WNXX Jackson, KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers. LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Good morning. It's 7 a.m. here on Friday, January 24th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect sunny skies with a high of 52. In hour one of today's show, we'll preview the NFC and AFC championship games with the winners going to the Super Bowl, and the Saints coaching search continues. We'll give you the latest on that as well. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel. Hour number one of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Let's go, baby, let's go.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah, they said I gotta come off the bench.
Now, here's Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yo, what's happening, guys? What's going on? Welcome in to a brand new episode of OTB. It is Friday. I hope everybody's having a wonderful week. Things getting back to normal a little bit here as the roads are open once again. And I hope that you're stay safe. I mean, I guess to be fair, I did see a flipped over truck right at the. Did y'all see that at the exit today? At the government exit of 110?
No.
You didn't? Is that? Huh. Oh, interesting. Whatever. The point is, stay safe out there. Still some ice left. Just be careful wherever you're going, and let's have ourselves a morning. We do have Jake back this morning. He'll be joining us remotely after his hellish escape from Atlanta. Finally arrived back at the capital city yesterday. I'm going to ask for a little bit of grace today, guys. If it sounds a little bad at times, I feel awful. I have been dodging sicknesses in my house like I was a 11-degree black belt ninja, right? Like literally every one of my family members has been sick, and I've still been kissing all of them, cuddling all of them, not giving a damn, and I think it finally got up to me, you know? So if I sound a little out of it today, please forgive me. I feel god-awful, but that's my own insecurity. Just want me to preface the show with that. But I'm still very excited for today's show. I've got a lot of thoughts, and you people are going to hear them. I've got a lot of random thoughts as well. Did y'all know? This is crazy. Have you seen the Billy Corgan, Bill Burr story?
Yeah, but I don't know if that's like,
Is it a bit or is it real?
I'm taking it as a bit. I don't think it's real.
I can't. I mean, it would be like a great comedian to play it like Burr is playing it.
Yeah.
So I could see it going. I don't know. We'll get there later, though. But we got a lot to get to today. Alondra, what's up? What's going on? How you doing?
I'm doing well. I was telling Taylor it doesn't even feel like Friday because we just had 2 days off. So it's just a little weird. I feel like we're back in like the holiday.
Yeah.
Like
we just never stop.
Of like
it's
where,
awesome.
what day is it? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's cool though. I mean, look, if it's, shout out to all the kids out there, man. No school for the entire week. What a great feeling.
Seriously.
Just straight chilling, doing whatever, playing video games. My daughter's been playing Roblox lately.
Oh, the kids love Roblox.
Love some Roblox.
My sister, when she was younger, she was super into Roblox. And so like I used to play it with her and it's actually kind of fun.
The problem is I signed on to her account and she was just being inundated with messages from Taylor.
Oh.
Yeah, I know.
Don't want that. Gotta block him on
I know.
Roblox.
I had to hop on the parental controls and shut down all messaging.
Yeah.
Shout
I
out
hope
to
you
Roblox.
feel better, though.
They actually finally did something about the parental controls. Apparently you got to like call them, you give your ID, all this. It's pretty advanced, but yeah, so that's been an interesting development. No, I don't know. I feel
like
and
I know what you mean.
Just a little fluey, like hot,
like body a little sore.
cold.
Yeah.
You know when your skin hurts, even when like a t-shirt rubs on it? Very sensitive.
Yeah.
Can barely swallow. I took 2 Tylenol PM at 6 o'clock last night, and I think I woke up about 80 times during the night. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Not sure Tylenol PM would really do anything for...
I mean,
what?
So? In terms of getting you drowsy? In terms of getting, that's all I was looking for, to get to sleep. It's definitely not addressing any of the... I don't know. I got to get a shot or something before the Senior Bowl on Sunday because I cannot be entering a day in which I'm going to do war against my immune system by networking late into the night. I cannot afford to not be feeling 100%. Super Bowl coming. We're going to get it. We're going to get it. I don't want to wallow in self-pity too much. Taylor, what's up, man? How you feeling?
I'm feeling all right. We got Den of Thieves 2 tonight. Me and Victoria are going to see that, so I'm excited.
So give me, what's the story on Den of Thieves? This appears to be a pretty beloved movie that I don't know anything about.
So Victoria actually watched it for the first time last night. So look, generic, not dirty cop, but Gerard Butler's a cop that kind of bends the rules a little bit, and he's after like a den of thieves. Ice Cube's son's in it.
Ice Cube's son.
Yeah.
And they were, bank robbers in the first one, and the first one was really good. So we're going to see the second one tonight.
It is pretty good.
I got to give credit to Gerard Butler here because...
Great action film.
So I was going to say, right, like obviously 300 was panned by critics at the time, but it was beloved by audiences. But after that, he does a couple rom-coms that don't really hit the mark. And then he seems to be getting in increasingly bad action films only at some point. Those bad action films became so bad that they became good. Was it like Olympus Has Fallen?
No,
or maybe London Has Fallen?
Good.
Or White House? Is it White House Down?
So
No, that's
White
what
House
I'm saying.
Down is Channing Tatum. Olympus Has Fallen is Gerard
Either
Butler.
way, those are movies that are not supposed to be good, and yet Gerard Butler seems to be turning out action hits that people love.
I was telling Victoria last night, I was like, I don't like Gerard Butler. I was like, I feel like I don't see him in enough stuff. And I was like, you know what, though? Maybe that's why I like him. Because, like, he's not churning out all of these left and right. Like, he's not, like, oversaturated. I was like, maybe that's why we like Gerard Butler.
You didn't like
Because, like,
P.S.
every
I
now
Love
and
You?
then, like, he'll be, he'll put out a great movie, but then you won't hear about him for, like, 4 years.
Yeah. Is P.S. I Love You the
One
Katherine
with,
Heigl?
No.
Is it her or
that's
Hillary
the Ugly
Swank?
Truth. That's the Ugly Truth.
Oh, the Ugly Truth. Yeah, that movie sucked.
I love The Ugly Truth. It's so funny.
I remember seeing it in theaters and just thought it was awful.
Yeah, Hillary Swank.
Okay, so that's P.S. I Love You.
$1 Million
Hillary Swank.
Baby.
Yeah, speaking of, I haven't seen her in a while. Well, good on Gerard Butler. Enjoy Den of Thieves 2. That sounds like a fantastic way to spend a Friday night. Nookie says Gerard Butler greater than Jason Statham.
I love two of them, both of some of my favorite actors. I like Jason Statham better.
I know y'all
I don't have enough of a dog in the fight, honestly.
That's what I was going to say. I know y'all love Jason Statham, but I probably lean more toward Gerard Butler than I do Jason Statham.
Font says I can't wait.
Actor-wise, Gerard Butler's probably the better actor. I just enjoy Jason Statham's movies.
Font says I can't wait till T.O. talks about his daughter runs up a $500 Roblox bill. Well, she actually can't buy anything.
parental.
Thanks to the parental controls. So, but yeah, that would definitely be in play if that was not the case. Dub is right. Super underrated Gerard Butler movie, The Phantom of the Opera with Emmy Rossum. I had TiVo in high school. And so you end up watching the movies that you had recorded on TiVo approximately 8,000 times because this was pre-streaming.
Yeah.
So, like, I probably watched Harry Potter and Goblet of Fire 100 times. Not really, but, like 20 times. Cheaper by the Dozen 2, randomly, a ton. And Phantom of the Opera, which Gerard Butler was fantastic. All right. Well, coming up on today's show, we're actually going to open today's show with women's basketball, as it is by far the biggest thing going on in town right now. Coach Mulkey's squad trying to climb the one hill that they have yet to do in her time at LSU, and that is beating Dawn Staley's South Carolina Gamecocks. In fact, Reed Darcy from the Advocate has a really, really good preview piece in today's paper that you all should all check out that really lays out through the numbers just how lopsided this rivalry has become as of late. And so that's where we're going to start today's show. And then, look, we got plenty of NFL talk. We got Saints coaching search. We got the conference championships coming up this weekend. I want to not spend long on it, but I think I have a very definitive answer as to whether or not the 12-team playoff was a bust. And I have much more numbers than I had yesterday when we came to that subject a bit late. And then maybe if we want later, we can get into like top 10 quarterbacks. Got a little LSU baseball's preseason scrimmages are going down this weekend as well. So it's going to be a fun show. If you want to hang out, youtube.com/1045 ESPN. I remember seeing Law Abiding Citizen back in the day. I haven't thought about the movie in a long time.
That's
that was a
Gerard
good movie.
Butler's best movie.
Yeah, that was a really good movie. But if you want to hang out with us, youtube.com/1045 ESPN. Let's talk LSU, South Carolina, coming up this afternoon. ESPN 1 next here on OTB.
Off the bench.
Go to trashrangers.com, guys, trashrangers.com. And if you live in Livingston or Ascension Parish, well, you are one of the lucky ones because you actually get to choose who handles your residential trash pickup. That is not the case with people who don't live there. You're kind of forced into these contracts. But you can make the switch. So I'm going to keep reminding you, for a limited time, we have an incredible deal right now. You can switch your residential service to Trash Rangers for half price. That's right. You can get started with a company that is local, that gives a damn, that's efficient, that's reliable, that has thousands of 5-star reviews, that texts you the night before it's your day to put out your can so you never get in. You can make that switch for only $13.95 a month. Guys, what are we talking about? It's like 2 cups of coffee. Call today for the details and make the switch. Go to trashrangers.com. Once again, that's trashrangers.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. BRAC, your #1 park system in the nation.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart.
Welcome back to the best morning sports show around. Sorta. It's Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Shout out Billy Corgan. So, I can't tell if it's a bit or not, but Bill Burr and Billy Corgan went on Howie Mandel's podcast.
Which is
deeply funny to begin with because it's all 3 very bald white guys, like the baldest of white guys. But what they are saying is kind of insane. As on a previous episode that I guess Corgan was on, he told the story about his stepmother telling him that his dad had multiple families. He was a traveling musician, and that she believed that Bill Burr was his half brother through his dad. And then Howie Mandel is Bill Burr on the podcast, and out of nowhere, he drops Billy Corgan in there. And Burr seems pretty miffed about the entire thing. We'll play you some clips later. But there's your random internet headline of the morning. Bill Burr and Billy Corgan may be half brothers through a traveling musician father who had multiple families.
I mean, it's so easy to find that out nowadays. Let's get him on Maury.
For what it's, well, I think he's dead, but somebody did say
Maury is not dead.
No, the dad.
Oh.
No, I think somebody did say dig him up and put him on Maury, to your point.
What? Taylor's like over here trying to like whisper
I think we got Jake on.
Yeah, let's see if it works. Jake?
Jakey Wakey, Exit Bakey, what's up, dude?
No.
All right, we'll get him in a second.
It's all good.
All right, so let's talk then about the LSU women's basketball team. As, like I said, Reed Darcy, that's where I'm getting all this information from, so I do not want to stolen valor here. I am citing my sources, but the numbers that Reed wrote about this morning are fantastic. And when you think about Coach Mulkey's resume in her career, and you think about Coach Mulkey's time here in Baton Rouge, for her career, there's quite literally nothing that she has not been able to do. For her time here at LSU, there is exactly one thing that she has not been able to do, and that is beat South Carolina. In fact, guys, you want to hear some shocking numbers? LSU has not beaten South Carolina women's basketball since 2012. That is a dozen years and 16 games in a row that you lost. 16 games, which, look, for much of that time, maybe LSU wasn't at their peak. But still, these are 2 competitive programs, and you figure sometime you would have stumbled into a win in those ensuing 16 matchups. For what it's worth, Coach Mulkey herself is 2-5 all time against Dawn Staley teams and hasn't beaten a Dawn Staley coach team since 2019. And that 2019 day is a very interesting one to highlight. Because for many South Carolina fans, that 2019 game, it was in the Sweet 16, Baylor versus South Carolina. It kind of represents a line of demarcation. That year, South Carolina's still climbing. They were pretty good. They were getting better. But Baylor beats them in the Sweet 16. That's a year in which South Carolina lost 10 games. Since that year, so they lost 10 games in 19. Since that year, they've only lost 10 games in 5 years. If you make that 4 years, they've only lost 4 games in the past 4 years. Hell, they lost to UCLA this year, and it was their second regular season loss over the last 4 years. So ever since Baylor and Coach Mulkey won that Sweet 16, South Carolina's been on a tear, and in the ensuing half decade, they've made 4 Final Fours. They've won 2 championships, including an undefeated one. And what's fascinating about this rivalry is you truly do have almost a pupil becoming the master sort of situation, the rise of the new generation. Because if you look at Dawn Staley's time at South Carolina, it took her 4 years to make the tournament. She gets the job in 2008. She doesn't make the tournament until 2012. That same year, Coach Mulkey was 40-0 at Baylor, winning the national championship. And so Coach was already on top, and she's remained on top, but Dawn Staley slowly creeped up, and then in the past 5 years, accelerated past. Now, of course, as I said, LSU, Coach Mulkey, she's done everything here at LSU that you would want to accomplish, including the peak, winning the national championship. But the year in which they won, South Carolina was eliminated by Iowa. She has still not beaten the Gamecocks in the Tiger uniform. And the game's going to be at 4 p.m. this afternoon. It's going to be on ESPN1. It is going to be an absolute dogfight as this very talented LSU team looks to head into South Carolina and hand the Gamecocks their second loss of the season. It's going to be tough. LSU's played some close games this year, which may help them. South Carolina is not. In fact, I think South Carolina's had 1 game decided by single digits. They have 6 double-digit ranked wins on the year. It is going to be an absolute battle. Can Coach accomplish the one thing she is not yet in the purple and gold? Jake, are we? No. Okay, no, we're still working on it. So check it out. This afternoon, 4 p.m. Guys, how are we feeling about are y'all working the game this afternoon?
I am not.
No, neither of us are. But yeah, big game.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch, man. I can't wait to watch. What Coach has built here is nothing short of incredible. It's our favorite time to talk to her every single week. And again, this is the proverbial monkey on the back here. So here's to hoping that that Coach Mulkey and the squad can find a way to hand another loss to Dawn Staley and gain some momentum. I mean, if you don't, look, you'll still probably face him in the SEC tournament. Like, you'll still have more chances, but 16 games in a row over a dozen years, like, eventually something's got to give.
You got to think this is their best shot, too, right? I mean, LSU's hot. They're undefeated. South Carolina already 2 losses. Like
1 loss, I think, right?
Yeah.
1.
Well,
sorry.
They're still, South Carolina. They're just not that dominant, 30-0 team that we're used to seeing that's just pummeling people.
They're still
like
ranked second.
I mean,
they're great.
They've only lost to UCLA, is ranked number 1. And like I said, they've only had 1 game decided by single digits. Now, I feel you in that they're a bit more fallible because they have a loss. Yes. But it's going to what's the spread on this, actually?
South Carolina is the favorite.
Yeah, by how much, though, I'm wondering. I mean, they're at home. Of course, they should be the favorite. They've won 16 in a row. And as I said, they've already have 6 double-digit ranked wins on the year. So it's a bit interesting, whereas Coach Mulkey likes to handle the out-of-conference portion with, not necessarily playing the best teams as she kind of figures out what she has. South Carolina already been through some pretty rigorous competition thus far.
Well, to your point, yes, if they don't win this game, not that big of a deal. You're still going to get into the tournament. You could still see them in the SEC tournament. You got to get this off your back, though.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. 2 years ago when LSU won the national championship, it was the Final Four, right? You beat Virginia Tech. You were waiting on the other team. And then you see Iowa pull the upset, and everything switched. I mean, you were like, hey, LSU actually has a shot. Like, there were a lot of people that year that did not believe LSU can beat South Carolina because you've had such a hard time with them. You got to prove you can actually beat this team.
Yeah.
6.5 is the spread.
Pretty big.
Plus 250 is the money line.
So let's go, Anissa, Flage, KG, get it done this afternoon in South Kakalaka. Do to remind you guys about K to Z window coverings, KTOZblinds.com, KTOZblinds.com. You want window coverings that wow. You want shutters, drapery, shades. You need maybe you want like some drop-down exterior shading for an outdoor kitchen, right? Which has a couple of benefits. First off, you stay cool while you're maybe outdoor, like grilling, doing whatever you do. And in a lot of cases, it'll maybe take glare off the TV, cool down the interior of the home. And that's the point, is that Brandon Barton comes into your home. He gives you 20 years of experience for a complimentary estimate, let you know exactly what's going on, how your home interacts with the sunlight, so that you then can maximize the value of the project that you want to do. And look, maybe it's a starter home, maybe it's a home of your dreams. You want to spend big, you're kind of on a budget. We don't care. We can handle any price point. What we do guarantee is that we are going to improve your home. And it comes to complimentary installation as well. So check them out, K to Z window coverings, KTOZblinds.com. Let's talk about the Saints coaching search a bit, as there's been a little bit of an NFL soap opera taking place as of late. Yesterday, we talked about Liam Cohen removing his name from the Jacksonville Jaguars search, and how interesting that was, right? Given that, man, we thought that was a pretty good job for Cohen. Like, that represents, the opportunity he's worked for his entire life. I mean, this is a guy who was with McVay, then he goes to Kentucky, then he's back to the NFL, now he's with Baker. And, NFL held job in Jacksonville, oh, surely he'll take that. Well, he doesn't. He tells the Bucs he's signing a long-term extension, and then what do the Jags do? They fire Trent Baalke, the GM. And then all of a sudden, Liam Cohen secretly flies back to Jacksonville and is now re-engaged in talks with the Jaguars, which you have to imagine means he's going to be the head coach. They're just hammering out the details. I think there's a couple interesting things to note here. If this move does indeed come to pass, first, good, gets Liam Cohen out the NFC South. Love that. That offense for the Bucs is very good this season. Second, it kind of clears the way for the Saints to hire whoever they want. I mean, the word on the street right now is that the Raiders are talking like Pete Carroll, Robert Saleh, Vance Joseph, kind of more experienced options. Brian Schottenheimer randomly feels like the favorite in Dallas. And so all of a sudden, you don't have any competition for Brady, or if you want to go Kellen Moore, if you want to go Mike McCarthy. The Saints are in a situation where they may kind of end up having their choice of who they want, which is pretty fascinating given how this is all shook out. I would also say this, one interesting thing to note, remember the Aaron Glenn rumor that we talked about from TJ Jones, basically saying that, look, Aaron Glenn wanted to know if the franchise would be willing to move on from Mickey Loomis. And a lot of people clown that report, saying, Loomis is the one conducting the interview. This is crazy. He's not going to ask Loomis himself to fire himself. But I would say here that what just happened to Trent Baalke shows you that this does actually go on. Trent Baalke was the one interviewing Liam Cohen, along with the owner and everybody else. And it's obvious that Cohen made it obvious through back channels that, no, he would want a new GM that he would get to be a part of choosing. And honestly, it's very important. When you look at the Chicago Bears, or that clip that went viral earlier this year where they're laying out how the Bears have never really had a GM, head coach, and quarterback that were all brought together at the same time, right? They were all, one piece of that triumvirate was always inherited from a previous regime. Well, Liam Cohen basically saying, yeah, look, you want me to come? I'm happy in Tampa. You want me to come? You got to get rid of Baalke. Bring somebody else in, and then we'll start this thing completely anew. So all I'm saying is maybe that report about Aaron Glenn intimating some of the same stuff, getting some of those same whispers surrounding Mickey Loomis, maybe that is true. And then the Saints clearly showing, well, no, unlike the Jaguars, they were not willing to do so. But yeah, I guess the biggest takeaway is, again, the Saints have an open path to Joe Brady, Kellen Moore, Mike McCarthy. I mean, is there anybody else left competing for these guys?
Kellen Moore is the only one right now that's been linked to other jobs. I mean, right now it seems like in Dallas, if it's not Brian Schottenheimer, it'll be Kellen Moore. I mean, those are kind of the two guys that are the favorite. Jerry obviously said he wanted to hire somebody that's familiar with him. He's familiar with both those guys. But McCarthy and Joe Brady heard nothing. I mean, the only one we had heard was yesterday that the Jaguars were after Brady, but obviously if they hire Cohen, they're out.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, good for the Saints. They can continue to be patient, continue to do their due diligence, and end up choosing who they choose. Tay, how are we feeling about the Brian Schottenheimer rumors?
I don't feel great about it. Look, he was the offensive coordinator under Mike McCarthy, and he did not call plays. So, and I actually looked up his resume yesterday. He's been a coordinator in a lot of different places.
He was actually a coordinator in St. Louis when I was there.
He was a coordinator in St. Louis.
He was one of the men who called me into his office to cut me. And I mean that with love. Like, normally, you can just get cut by nobody, but him, Jeff Fisher, the O-line coach, all, took their turn at the knife. Good coach, though. I really enjoyed him.
No, and, his coaching is quite extensive. Like, so, okay, he was the Jets offensive coordinator under Eric Mangini. Now, with Pennington in 06 and 07, his offenses were terrible. They ranked 18th and 25th. You give him a good quarterback, 9th-ranked offense in the NFL in 2008. Again, same thing under Rex Ryan. He was okay with Mark Sanchez. I mean, they had a lot of success together.
God, he's been everywhere, dude.
St. Louis, again, though, like his quarterbacks were Sam Bradford, Kellen Clemens, and Austin Davis. So, I mean, he hasn't had a ton of work. He was Georgia's offensive coordinator when Grayson Lambert was there. I mean, the guy's been all over. But my issue is you're hiring a 51-year-old offensive coordinator that's never been a head coach anywhere, that hasn't even called plays in like 4 years.
I mean, it is the ultimate sign of Jerry Jones beating to his own drum. I did not expect this at all. You would think Dallas would want to do something splashy. No, not the case.
See what Jake thinks about it.
Jake, what's up, dude?
I can't see y'all.
No.
But I can hear you.
Because if you were to see us, then we would also be like on the stream. So it would be weird. So you just can't see us. But it's
I can
fine.
see y'all for like a second now. It looks like
Yeah.
I'm talking to myself, which is kind of weird,
'Cause I
but
put you on the
I'm glad to
solo.
hear y'all.
What's up, Jake? Well, here, look, we are already at 7:30. So let's go ahead and go to break. And when we get back, we will recap Jake's planes, trains, and automobiles nightmare as he desperately tried to fight his way back to the capital city. More Off the Bench coming up next.
Off the bench.
Go to centralplumbing.org, centralplumbing.org. You need somebody who's going to handle any plumbing problems that you may have. You go to Central Plumbing, 24/7 emergency service. Hopefully you made it through the storm with no damage, but if you did, we have a massive fleet on standby ready to go for you. 925-8582 is the number. Centralplumbing.org is the website, and what you get is flat rate pricing, licensed, bonded, and insured employees, an excellent warranty once the work is done, meaning that you have peace of mind every single step along the way. So trust the team that's been at it for over 40 years, guys. Central Plumbing has been making sure that your pipes are good to go. And remember, it's not just residential, but commercial as well. If you have a big office building, we have the correct paperwork, personnel, and insurances to service you as well. We also do bathroom remodels. You want to upgrade to something like a tankless water heater. It's all at centralplumbing.org, centralplumbing.org.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Got chores that need some extra muscle, but a large piece of equipment is overkill? That's what John Deere compact utility tractors were made for. Powerful enough for the work you need to do. Compact enough for how you need to do it. Find the equipment that's right for you at Sunshine Quality Solutions. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact.
Back to sports talk. Maybe. Off the bench.
What happened, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. Roll right along here on this Friday. And we finally got our guy Jake Hester back. He left for the national championship, and it was hell getting home. It's interesting. We talked about plane, trains, and automobiles trying to make it back for that Houston for the Houston playoff game. Little did he know what nightmares awaited his future. Jake, give us the rundown of how you finally made it back to the capital city.
Yeah, so on Monday, we're doing the pregame show on the field, which was really cool. We had stand-up mics and kind of wireless, and we were just grabbing people. So, everything was great. Vibe was great. And then I get the text, your flight's going to be canceled, which wasn't that shocking because I knew the weather in Baton Rouge was going to be crazy. And I'm like, okay, well, let me try to, during the breaks, let me plan on maybe what I can do. How can I attack this? And so my initial thought, because I couldn't get anywhere really close, I could get close-ish. And so after the game on Monday, I booked a flight to Jackson, Mississippi. And so I got to the airport, and that flight was at like 9:30 or something. So I got to the airport at, I think, 6. I'm like, okay, I'll be fine. 6, I got 3.5 hours because I knew it'd probably be a little bit crazy because of the national championship game, whatever. So after standing in line for like 4.5 hours on, I guess, Tuesday morning, I missed that initial flight, but it was fine because everybody was missing their flights. And so I got on the next flight, and I'm like, okay, at least you'll get home. Because I was going to drive from Jackson, Mississippi, and I rented a car, and that was going to be how I got back to Baton Rouge. I was going to find a way. Just get me close. Well, I get there, and they have no rental cars. You can reserve one, says you have one, but you get to Jackson, Mississippi, no rental cars. Okay, I don't know anybody in Mississippi. I don't know anybody close to Jackson, Mississippi. So I was like, okay, well, I'll try to get to Shreveport. So I'm going to book a flight from Atlanta to Shreveport. So I got to fly back to Atlanta, but it's okay. I'll get to Shreveport tonight. I'll figure out a way to get to Baton Rouge. And so as I'm in the air from Jackson to Atlanta, the Shreveport leg of the flight, it gets canceled.
Mm.
And so I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'm probably going to stay the night in Atlanta, and there was no hotel rooms. And so I'm like, okay, well, I paid $300 T for this, like, whatever hotel by the airport. That was all that was left. I'm like, well, I got to do it. I mean, I got to get some sleep. And so
Don't
I
take
get
a black
to the
light to that room. That's our hotel.
Yeah.
There's
So I get to
fluids
the
everywhere.
I get to this hotel, T, and they're like, "Nah, man, we don't have you." I'm like, "It's right here, hotel tonight, right here." And they're like, "Yeah, hotel tonight's really bad about that. They do it all the time." So $300, no room. I call hotel tonight, and they're like, "Yeah, we'll give you a credit on the app there." So I'm like, "Crap." Well, I was trying to stay close to the airport. I didn't want to have to go
How
all
about
the
you
way.
give me my money back? Are you kidding me? A
Yes,
credit?
dude, I went off on these
credit?
people. A credit. So I'm like, okay, well,
Hotel
there was
tonight
like
sounds like a scam. But sorry,
oh,
continue.
it was terrible. It was terrible. But there was like one room in the Hard Rock Hotel across from the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. So I actually I had to use that credit to get that room. So I got the room, got down there. It was like, midnight or something. And so I booked a flight to Shreveport. It was going to leave at 9:20 a.m. I'm like, all right, I'm getting to the airport at 5 a.m. I 4 hours and 20 minutes. I'm going to get there. It's not going to be as crazy. Notre Dame, Ohio State fans, most of them got home. So I get there at 5 a.m. and I got through security, I think at like 10:40 or something after getting in at 5 a.m. And so I missed my initial Shreveport flight. And again, everybody's there's no pre-check.
5
There's
a.m.
no
to
nothing.
10:40. What is going on? Just lines?
There was 3 TSA agents out of 20 TSA, agent stands because they said, oh, because of the weather, and it was, light snow in Atlanta, they can't get to work. And I said, sir, how in the hell do you think that all of us got here? It was on the open highways that y'all have, and our Ubers drove on them.
I mean, where is Taron Egerton when you need him? This is his shot. He finally gets to work the machine, and he's nowhere to be found.
It's the only thing I could think of during that whole time. Well, actually, there's a qualification, and you get bumped up because this movie told me that everybody can't read the screen, and so that was that nightmare. I mean, and I felt so bad. There was, oh man, I even hate telling this story. This sweet lady Gail that I met in front of me, man, her mom was passing away in Albany, New York, and she was trying to get there. They were trying to just keep her alive until she could get there. And she just kept getting delayed, and she was older. She was standing for 5 hours. I mean, it was a mess. And so, all right, well, not going to get on that one. Got on a flight for 150 for Shreveport. It kept getting delayed and delayed and delayed. And then so finally, on the last flight out, we got there, got into Shreveport super late. I guess it would have been, hell, I don't even know what day it is. It's Friday, so Wednesday night.
Yeah, Wednesday night is when I think you finally made your way to Shreveport.
Yes. Okay. So then got up, and my mom, I was like, hey, there's no rental cars anywhere because I don't know. God's punishing me for something. I don't know what it is. So luckily my mom's like, hey, I'd love to come see the kids. I'll
Good
ride
call.
down with
Oh,
you.
yeah, Mom, let's
So we got in her car. We didn't hit any bad spots till Opelousas. Everything was pretty much cleaned up until Opelousas. Still some ice for sure there, but we got past that. It took us, what is Shreveport usually for a 3:45 drive? It was a little over probably 5 hours to drive with, kind of the conditions. And we came the back way. The Huey P. Long Bridge, thank God, was open yesterday. So got back into Baton Rouge yesterday afternoon. And it was quite the circus. The game was great. Everything leading into that was great. But I hate the city of Atlanta so much now that I might choose a different Major League Baseball team.
Oh, no, it even broke your Braves fandom?
I mean, T-Bob,
Come join me and Hunt with the Cubs.
If I saw the Atlanta Braves logo one more time, because I had such long delays in the airport. I'm like, man, I'm not going to just sit here. So I would, walk the entire airport, at least try to get some steps in or something.
God.
And so seeing the Braves logo over and over again just made me more mad. I'm like, I've loved y'all since 1991. Don't take this from me, Atlanta.
This is just god awful, Jake. I'm sorry, man. And what did the family do in the snowstorm and snowpocalypse while you were gone?
Oh, dude, I kept getting, that was the worst part. I kept getting videos and
I
everybody's
know.
loving it. And they're like having snowball fights
I
and
know.
Harlow's going out there and like throwing up snow. And I'm
Oh.
sitting here and I'm in a dusty motel trying to convince them that this $300 upcharge that they charge me, just let me sleep.
And we
Just
know
let
what
me
a
sleep
family man you
anywhere
are,
in-
too. I was heartbroken for you. I was talking to the neighbors about that. Because then my neighbor actually said, I was like, damn, and I know he's like such a family man. It's awful, man. It's awful.
Yeah. But it's not like we're leaving on Sunday for another week.
Oh, jeez. I know. Now we're going to Mobile Sunday to Thursday. Super Bowl the week after that. Literally no rest for the weary. I mean, that's the craziest part about that. For those that don't know, because Jake also hosts Off Campus on Sirius XM 84 every afternoon. He's been covering this very drawn out playoff, 12-team playoff, and he's been gone every weekend. So this was supposed to be the final trip, I guess, before Senior Bowl or not, and then all this happened. God, bro. I mean, I think this is one of those things that eventually you'll look back on with maybe a bit of rose-colored lenses, because I don't know if you can go through anything more insane travel-wise. Like, this is like this one of the dumbest experiences that you could ever have. But yeah, I'm sorry, man. Let's show some love for a fullback one. That's awful.
Hey, you know what, T? We are so spoiled as players. You know, like when we played, it's just you pull up to the plane on a bus and you get out and you do TSA right there and you get on the plane or whatever. And it's you know, you get humbled sometimes. Like, hey, yeah, I know you've done that for like most of your life. That's not an option anymore here, big fella. You're gonna go through hell. But you know what? I wasn't alone either. Gosh, my guy Dusty Dvorak was kind of stuck. Mike Golick Jr. was stuck.
I think
Scott
Van Pelt was stuck, right? Yeah, I've seen those making the rounds.
Yeah, so I saw a ton of our colleagues out and about in the Atlanta airport. So I at least wasn't alone, and I could share my frustration with them as well.
Brian Burgess says that's the best show that Jake is on. I love listening to Off Campus. Brian, how much does take that, dude? How much does take that, Brian? You're my boy. Why do you take shots like this? Okay, guess what? I hate the Air Force. How about that? No, thank you for your service. Okay.
Wait. I thought you were grinding with Air Force. I thought that was your dynasty.
I am. No. I got fired after year one in Navy.
He got fired, but hey, he's bringing the Falcons back to the promised land.
We were ranked. We were ranked, but I ended up getting beat by Charlotte last week. I'm a year behind recruiting. Everybody else's teams are like 5 or 80 points better. So I'm that annoying player where I'm playing like straight run the ball, and I let the play clock run down almost every single time. Shorten games, play great defense. We just gritting out wins bit by bit. But yeah, come on, man. With the new rankings about to come out, you drop that. I mean, get the hell out of here. All right. When we get back, let's go ahead and close out hour number 1 of OTB.
Off the bench.
I don't really hate the Air Force, but I am upset with you, Brian. You've hurt my feelings. Go to All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.com, All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.com. My bad there, Tay. I misread the sheet. You go to All-Star today and just know that they're going to have your back, man. If you need a brand new vehicle, if you need a rent, cheaper per day rental price than traditional rental companies, just hit up Miss Lisa Sessions. Remember, the service center and the body shop open to all makes and models, though. So if you need some collision repair, just a checkup, whatever, doesn't have to be All-Star, doesn't have to be Toyota, you still get to take advantage of free professional estimates, rapid turnaround times, great lines of communication, factory parts right there on site. Go to All-Star Toyota today. And remember, 25 is here, meaning the 24s have some great deals. So you want basically a brand new car at a better deal. Now is the time to act. And I think the website's such a great place to start your journey, because right when you get on, you can search by keyword, by make and model, by budget, and you can see what they have right there on site. You can also test drive it all. Go to All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years.
Back to sports talk. Maybe. Off the bench.
I begrudgingly appreciate Brian's double down, triple down, quadruple down as he continues to say, I can't lie. In the words of Jack Nicholson and A Few Good Men, sorry, you guys can't handle the truth. Man.
Great reference.
Again, I begrudgingly appreciate it. All right, so we've been doing this series from Hunt Palmer's work on LouisianaSports.net. Again, guys, also, that's been my main resource for the Saints coaching search as well. Ross, Hunt, the entire team's doing a really good job there. But today, Tamarcus Cooley is our Hunt Palmer player portal profile of the day. And Cooley is very exciting because he is a transfer. And, we go through the portal players here, right? But he is a transfer that represents a known quantity at a position of need. He played nickel for the Wolfpack last year. He was a redshirt freshman, so he's got a lot of eligibility left. He's only a 3-star coming out of high school, but that's why I love the transfer portal, because you get, you get to see how guys actually do in college, right? And some guys are going to flourish that were underrated in high school, and some guys will founder that were overrated coming to high school. So Tamarcus Cooley, is a damn good player. He had 3 picks, forced a couple fumbles, 39 tackles. Maybe the most impressive thing that Cooley had would be his PFF grade. And this has been a common theme throughout the portal player profiles, has been PFF grades that would have exceeded what LSU had last year. And Cooley is no difference. An overall 79.6 on the year. That means that only Braden Swinson and Zy Alexander would have graded higher on last year's defense. His rush defense, an 81.3. You got to love some good perimeter tackling. His tackling grade of 75.4 and his coverage grade, an 80. So those are some, as Hunt says, rock solid numbers that display some of the versatility. So maybe he'll be safety. Obviously, that's a position of need. Maybe he'll be corner, but he is a key part of the DB overhaul, which may be the most exciting part of next year's LSU team, right? With Jakeem Jackson coming over from Florida, Mansour Delane from Virginia Tech, and then the high school guys, DJ Pickett and Aiden Anding, as well as the young guys that you already had that are now in the boat. Jake, what do you view as Tamarcus Cooley's role on this LSU team?
Yeah, so you have to kind of look at some other players and maybe where you're going to place Cooley, because I think we all agree that Harold Perkins probably going to be the first guy to get the opportunity at the star position. Then you've had Keys play really well at the star position too, but I think, he probably slides back inside. So I don't think it will be there. I think they want somebody that's a little bit bigger. I think they actually enjoyed having kind of a linebacker play that position. So I think Harold Perkins probably gets first crack at that. So, I mean, you're still going to play a nickel in different packages. And also you need safety help. Like, I feel like you've got some young corners too that are going to compete. You brought some in. Safety is still probably the biggest concern, I would think, on the entire football team. And so when you have somebody that is a little versatile, he's over 200 pounds. To me, that just makes sense. From day one, I think you could slot him in either free or strong safety and probably be your starter moving forward. So I don't think it's nickel. I don't think it's star. I think it's truly one of the safety positions.
Yeah, I mean, I would think so as well. I guess the bottom line is when was the last time that LSU would have had a defensive back group this exciting? I guess it actually would have been year one under Kelly, in which you brought in Jarek Bernard-Converse and Mekhi Gardner and Greg Brooks, and really the results were pretty damn good. The difference is all those guys basically only had 1 year left. So you were looking at a bunch of short-term rentals, whereas you look at a guy like Cooley, redshirt sophomore. So multiple years left should he want it. You're bringing in a couple of great young corners. I think Mansour Delane might have a couple of years left as well. So you could be talking about guys that'll be here for not just this season, but next season as well, meaning they get extended time under Corey Raymond and company. And it should be much better as we continue to heal from the damage that Matt House did, which, yeah, by the way, Jake, how about Brian Thomas, Malik Neighbors, and Jaden Daniels all being finalists for NFL Rookie of the Year?
I mean, gosh, if Matt House ever came back to Baton Rouge, I don't know that he would make it out. People are so angry, and I get it. You got three generational rookies, and you didn't make the playoff. You didn't make a conference championship game. You won some games, but my goodness, you should have probably won it all with those three.
All right, hour one of the books, hour two of OTB coming up. Keep it locked.
Off the bench.
Hey guys, I want to remind you about a brand new sponsor here on OTB, and that is Boudreaux's Electric, man. If you want a generator, go with the experts that have been in business for over 40 years, okay? And 15 years ago became one of the premier Generac generator dealers here in Louisiana. In fact, there's about 9,000 of these guys locally, and we're talking about Boudreaux's being in the top 1% there. One of only 5 dealers in Louisiana with Generac, and they specialize in Generac, and they make sure they're there for you. And I love some of the anecdotes because it's a family-run business, okay? And what that means is their entire focus is being very customer first. It's their mission statement. It's what's led to all of their success. In fact, there's even stories about during Francine, they were out there in the eye of the storm cutting down trees to get to customers to make sure their generators were good to go. That's the levels of service that you get from Boudreaux's. Go to boudreauxelectrical.com.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Got chores that need some extra muscle, but a large piece of equipment is overkill? That's what John Deere compact utility tractors were made for. Powerful enough for the work you need to do. Compact enough for how you need to do it. Find the equipment that's right for you at Sunshine Quality Solutions. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Savor game day platters and snacks, plus drink specials at 1717 Kitchen and Cocktail. So come out for game day and let our team make you the MVP. The Queen Casino, where every moment is a win.
Good morning. It's 8 a.m. here on Friday, January 24th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect sunny skies with a high of 52. In hour two of today's show, we'll preview the NFC and AFC championship games for the NFL playoffs. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel. Hour number two of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Let's go, baby, let's go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Hey, they said I gotta come off the bench.
Now, here's Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. Hope everybody's having a wonderful day here today. Stay safe out there. One more. Well, I'll get to it in a little bit. Coming up on this hour of the show, I want to talk a little bit about look at some college football topics. Big news for Ohio State fans as President Trump has actually signed an executive order. He has pardoned all Buckeye fans for all of their Fire Ryan Day tweets after November 30th. So congratulations to the Buckeyes. The fan base is healing. If you were in that number, you have now been given a presidential pardon. So congrats to you. You are no longer held accountable for your actions. Jake, what about the game itself? How was it there covering the national championship in Atlanta?
It was awesome. I have to say that media day, both teams were incredible. Everyone that we talked with, very well spoken, very team, every answer was like the perfect answer, right? I mean, and so it was a really good media day. It wasn't just like fluff. I mean, it was just really good answers. Everything, like I said, was team first. And so like Saturday, I believe, was the media day. That was a lot of fun to kind of get to know some of these players on both teams. I'd had Notre Dame in the Sugar Bowl, but I hadn't really had Ohio State. And so, I had them after the Cotton Bowl, but that's kind of crazy. And so getting a chance to kind of sit down and talk with them, was able to interview Marcus Freeman, Mike Denbrock, and some of the Notre Dame coaches. And then James Laurinaitis, one of my good friends, and Brian Hartline, who we played against in 2007. It was kind of cool to catch up with them as well. So Saturday, like leading into the game, that was a lot of fun. And I do want to like give a shout out to both teams because I've done a lot of media days with a lot of different teams, and that was probably the most impressive I've done.
Wow. And they were it was an okay game. Ironically enough, it was actually the closest national championship game from a final score perspective that you've had since the 23-20 overtime game back in the 17-18 season. So for whatever reason, it has been a while before we've really had a great national championship game. I thought that Notre Dame acquitted themselves pretty well in terms of fighting back and making it okay. But yesterday, we asked the question, were the playoffs a bust? Because there were a lot of headlines about, the average of 22 million viewers, third lowest viewership since 2014 for a championship game, 12% decrease from last year's game. But it does appear that you could argue that some of the people pushing that narrative maybe have a bit of an agenda, because also this game was the fifth most watched title game since the debut of the BCS in 1998. Remember, it did not air on ABC, so it wasn't on your traditional easy-to-watch cable. It was the most watched non-NFL sporting event since last year's Super Bowl, and it was the only second time in the last 5 years that the national championship has been the most watched game of the season. Also, when you think about game flow, it did peak at 26 million before it kind of got unexciting. It peaked at the beginning. Had it not been 31-7 in the third, maybe that number gets bumped up a bit. The other thing is, everybody's talking about the run-up to the game, the ratings being bad. The Rose Bowl had 21.1 million. They had the most watched Cotton Bowl ever, the second most watched Orange Bowl ever. And here is the main point to it all. A lot of people, I don't know why, if it's sour grapes against teams who didn't get in or didn't get what they wanted, but a lot of people trying to say this was a failure. But the bottom line is that whatever reduction in viewership there was vastly overwhelmed by the inventory they could sell by having more playoff games. So, yes, you can say that on a per-game basis they had less, but they had way more ads to sell. And so it made way more money. So at the end of the day, look, are there things to improve? Yes. The timing of it, certainly. Maybe seeding, stuff like that. You can massage this thing to get better results. But ultimately, I think it has to be a success because it made more money, and that's how this is all decided at the end of the day.
Yeah, look, I think it was a success. I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed covering all these games, and I realized that a lot of people are going to point to, hey, here's what the score was in these games. We saw that in Wild Card Weekend in the NFL. We see it in the second round of the NFL. It happens at that level too. You're not going to have great games across the board, but the ones that you get are going to be great. And we got some great ones. We got Texas and Arizona State. We got Notre Dame and Penn State, even Ohio State and Texas, right? First and goal, you got to go score Texas, and you don't. Ohio State stops you, and then they go the other way. So the score line at the end might look different, but that was a great football game. Even this national championship game, 31-7, you're like, oh, here we go again. But Notre Dame fought like hell. Being in the building and being on the sideline, there was a point in that game where, the intensity was up to an 11 when it looked like, is Notre Dame going to figure out a way yet again to make this epic comeback? And so even that game, it had some of that. It was sold out. Sold out to the brim of Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And it was probably 60-40 for sure, maybe even 65, for the Buckeyes, 35 for the Irish there. But it was sold out. There was a buzz around the stadium. Like I said, the fanfare deal was sold out. And so there was people on location. You felt and this is hard to do. This is very hard to do in a big city like Atlanta. And you know this well, to make it feel like you're there for a national championship game. because there's sometimes like it doesn't feel like that. Sometimes it's like, you're just somewhere and the game happens to just be there at the same time. But being in Atlanta, you felt like you were there for a national championship game. And so, like I said, I enjoyed it. I love more football. We're not going to get great games across the board. And it did feel long. It certainly did feel that. And I understand that. Like, I think we can get rid of the 10 days between games. Let's go to 7 days, like a normal rest period for these players. And maybe we can have one more round where it's on campus. I'm not saying it's perfect by any means, because I told you last week, I'm like, man, I'm tired from covering these games. I can't imagine what these coaches and players are kind of going through there. So you could adjust some of the things, but I thoroughly enjoyed all the extra football that we got. I thought we had enough games. I thought we had star power. I thought we had everything that we were kind of looking for as far as finding the one true national champion. And I know Ohio State lost a couple of games, but so did we in 07. But we were the best team. We didn't have our best on some of those days, kind of like the Buckeyes. But at the end of the day, they went through Tennessee, Oregon, Texas, and Notre Dame to go win a national championship.
Well, how about this, Jake? If you look at the final AP Top 25 from the regular season, Ohio State beat the number 1 team, the number 3 team, the number 4 team, the number 5 team, the number 7 team, and the number 9 team. And they themselves were the number 6 team. So you're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the top 9 that they could have beaten. So, yes, the most legendary run to a championship we've ever seen. Unfortunately, we do not grant them the rank of one of the greatest teams of all time because of the 2 losses. Hey, guys, go to Main Event Baton Rouge. You're looking for something fun to do with the family, with friends, maybe a first date or some. Main Event Baton Rouge has you covered. We've got multiple professional level bowling lanes ready to go, a multi-level laser tag arena ready to go. We got a ton of great arcade games, the latest and greatest, gravity ropes, whatever the case may be. Maybe you're a leader of like a sales team or a business. You want to reward your employees with a good time. Have Main Event handle your event. We have dedicated party planners on standby, ready to go. And remember, you bring the family into Main Event. You mention OTB, you get a 30-minute free game card right now. So it is January 4th, It's not. It's January 24th.
I was like, hold up. Wait a minute.
So do you know what happened 15 years ago today?
I don't, but I'm looking forward to hearing the answer. But also, like, I'm just realizing as you laid out Ohio State, are they the first 2-loss national champion? Like, is it just us and them now?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, without a doubt. 100%. LSU was the only one in 2007. Something that should become, hopefully, in a new era where we start scheduling harder out of conference games, where hopefully everybody eventually gets to 9 conference games, and where hopefully I still love the system that we could get to in 26 where you do 14 teams and it's all based on conference standings. This should become maybe not as singular as it's been in the past. But, yeah, kind of appropriate that the first champion of this new era with the expanded playoff would be one that had a bit more wobbles during the season, a bit more NFL-like in that regard.
Yep.
Speaking
of... All right,
of...
sorry.
No.
15 years ago today.
Let's go. Tay-Tay, hit the tape.
Let's go to the Super Bowl, boys, right here.
All right, hold on, back it up.
You did not say
anything.
There.
Let's go to the Super Bowl, boys, right here. Miss Hartley!
Come on, baby. One time for your boy.
Super Bowl, boys, right here.
Assume they would. Henderson with one of the most legendary calls ever there. Pigs have flown. Hell has frozen over. The Saints are headed to the Super Bowl. And I bring it up because it shows what the Saints can be, but it also shows how far you've fallen. I mean, if you were watching that in YouTube, if you're just listening, you couldn't see everybody they showed, but they show Reggie Bush. You see Drew Brees staying next to Sean Payton. You see Jeremy Shockey. And then you look at this year's team, right? And you see how far you have fallen. Now, for whatever it is worth, the Saints are on the cusp of kind of fully resetting. So right now, the Saints lead the NFL. They are $52 million over next year's salary cap. However, if you look forward to 2026, you are $60 million under the projected cap. And in 2027, $221 million under the projected cap. So sure, to get out of this season, you may end up taking away from a little bit of that $60 million next year by deferring contracts and everything else you do. But we've talked a lot about the Saints kicking the can down the road. Eventually that window's going to close. They would have to kind of pay the piper. They are in the process of doing that right now. You make it through this offseason. You get your new coach. I think you try to get as frisky as you can next year while doing it on a budget. And then next season, it feels like you can finally start to rebuild and make moves and kind of reset the process of getting championship relevant once again.
All right, T-Bob. So I'm going to need you to kind of, catch me up with all the latest and greatest because I've, trying to find my way back to Baton Rouge. I haven't been as locked in maybe to the coaching search, but like real quick, like with everything that you just said there, I truly hope that these Saints are like, okay, here is our opportunity. We tried to hold this thing together with duct tape and super glue with Dennis Allen. He was, with Sean Payton, and we're trying to have this same unit kind of move forward. And they tried to do it for a long time. And I understand, for some of it, I understand why, but like this is their opportunity to change the direction of their franchise. And so, can they get that done right now? Will they actually do that? Because I agree with you. It's going to go through some growing pains, but you have an opportunity to kind of hit reset there. They haven't done so in so long, but what is kind of the latest with the coaching search?
So a few things have broken the Saints' way here, and that is that mainly they kind of don't have any competition left to the guys that they might still want. So, of course, Aaron Glenn goes to the Jets. All reports that Brian Schottenheimer looks like he will be the Dallas Cowboys head coach. The Raiders are apparently looking for more experienced options. Like they're talking to Pete Carroll and Vance Joseph and Robert Saleh. The Jaguars look like Liam Cohen's going to be the guy. Of course, he interviewed at Jacksonville, said no, accepted an extension with the Bucs, only for the Jags to then fire Trent Baalke, saying, no, we want you, Liam, more than we want Baalke. He comes back. He's now back in Jacksonville, flew in secretly to do negotiations with them. So, honestly, you want Joe Brady? You want Mike McCarthy? There's nobody really in that market anymore. So you can choose your guy that you believe is the guy to lead you through this rebuild. It's just a question of whether or not they get it correct. And that will all, and for a guy like Mickey Loomis, who's nearing 70 years old, his entire kind of reputation and legacy is on the line here. And it sucks because he was such a key part of the rise in the golden era and, setting up for that Super Bowl. Again, the run in from 17, 18, 19, where you were one of the winningest teams in the NFL. I think you might have been the winningest regular season team. But winning does make you kind of spoiled. And so although there was a time when we said, pigs have flown and hell has frozen over, it's not really the case anymore. Expectations have risen a bit in New Orleans. And although there is that good on Loomis's resume, right now, nobody attributes it to him. They attribute it to Payton. They attribute it to Breeze. So if he can get this coaching decision correct, and maybe that's Joe Brady working with Spencer Rattler or Carr, maybe that's Mike McCarthy, that would go a long way towards sending him out on a good note, as this is likely the last time that he gets to make a decision like this. So they really have a pretty unimpeded path to whoever they want.
Yeah, so I keep telling myself, okay, well, as you continue to go down the road, it's probably going to be Joe Brady, because if it was Mike McCarthy, why would you not go ahead and just hire him? Because he's available. People are making their decision. You could do it right now. He could be moving forward. He could go to Mobile. He could be the coach. He could be scouting. And you haven't done so. But like with everything you said about Mickey Loomis kind of, having one more opportunity, then it's kind of like, okay, well, he's going to have one more opportunity. He's probably going to play it a little safe here. And I do feel like that would be the safe option. But it's like, okay, well, he hasn't done it. So is it Joe Brady? Joe Brady's still playing. And so that's why they haven't announced anything. And so you can kind of talk yourself, I guess, into either one of those guys. But I do think like the farther we get down the road, it's probably going to lean, in my opinion, Joe Brady, because why would you not make the move if it was Mike McCarthy with all the things that you have kind of coming up? And again, I know it's not the say all be all, but with Mobile being next week where you're going to have like most of your personnel there watching scouting, why would you not go ahead and have your head coach there?
It is one of the interesting quirks about the NFL schedule, though, is like, do teams feel the need to go ahead and act on a guy that maybe, that isn't coaching anymore because they feel like they got to go ahead and get a deal done? Or if you really think a guy that is still the guy is the guy that, he's still coaching, like, are you willing to wait on him? And to your point, the Saints may be waiting on Joe Brady, but we'll continue to update and see over the next few days. The other fly in the ointment here that makes this hard to judge outside looking in, you say, well, why haven't they hired McCarthy yet? McCarthy probably hadn't been able to get to town yet if you were trying to fly him in, right? Like basically everything got frozen over for about 3 days. So that could affect the timeline. But either way, the Saints will have their pick of the litter. Like, sure, maybe Aaron Glenn was choice number 1, but after that, the guys that you valued most are still available. And so maybe it's even Kingsbury or something if he comes to interview after the Jaden Daniels run. It remains to be seen. The more interesting thing to me will be when you get one of these coaches, what do they do at quarterback? Do they ride with Derek Carr for a year? Do they lean into Spencer Rattler, see what you have there, so you know if you need to go to a different quarterback next year? Because, Derek Carr is a good enough quarterback, highest graded player on the Saints, by the way. Derek Carr is a good enough quarterback where he's probably going to win like 7 to 8 games, at least, right? Whereas Spencer Rattler, you could be looking at like a disaster season. Maybe not, but is this a situation where you engage in a bit of pseudo-tanking? Let's see what we have in Rattler, and then if we don't like him and the season goes bad, that sucks. But you're set up with a great draft pick, and maybe make a move this year. I don't know. Maybe the new coach manages. I mean, Mickey loves to trade up, so maybe it wouldn't be a surprise in that regard. Then again, you need so much. This almost feels like a draft where you don't trade up, you wait on quarterback, you draft everybody that you can, try to inject this team with some youth, and then you maybe look to quarterback after that. Some fascinating crossroads that the New Orleans Saints are currently at. All right, when we get back here on OTB, we can keep talking about that. We got some LSU baseball going on this weekend as well. Keep it locked and Off the Bench.
Off the Bench.
Go to centralplumbing.org, 925-8552, centralplumbing.org, 925-8552. Central Plumbing is there for you. Again, if you went through if you had any frozen pipe issues or anything like that, or maybe you made it through, but you don't want to play around going again into the future, remember Central Plumbing, we can come wrap your pipes for you. Make sure you're insulated. You are good to go. And if anything does break or go wrong, we got 24/7 emergency service. We are ready to go for you on standby. So take advantage of the Payne family's 4 decades of experience and understand they've seen it all so they can fix it all. 925-8552 is the number. Centralplumbing.org is the website. Licensed, bond, insured employees, flat rate pricing, great warranty once the work is done. We also do bathroom remodels. If you want to upgrade to like a tankless water heater, we got that as well. So during the winter, you want to protect your home, you want Central Plumbing, centralplumbing.org.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute.
Welcome back to the 9th-ranked morning sports show in America. Off the bench.
Welcome back into Off the Bench. I don't know where T-Bob's at. Jake. Oh, there he is. Why would I do that for 2 minutes?
Play.
I'm letting it play right now, but why would I just let it play? This isn't a music
schedule
station.
a doctor appointment.
And that's fine. Me and Jake and Taylor were going to hold it down until you got back.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. Alondra, I know you'll be very excited. Baseball.
Look at my sweatshirt.
Going down this weekend. What is it? I can't see it.
It's the box.
Oh, let's go,
etched
dude.
onto my sweatshirt.
Yeah, so inter-squad scrimmages going to take place.
Did you get the
this
doctor's appointment scheduled, though, T? I know
Yeah.
you've had that thing you've been trying to get a look at for a little
it's
bit.
a
So
rash,
hopefully they can take care of that situation.
You're paying someone to do this. I have volunteered to do this
I
for
know.
free no less than 4 times.
I know. But alas, Taylor, I don't know if you have a medical degree.
Well, it's one of those things where it's like, do you want it done quickly or correctly? I totally understand that, but we could have had this done.
Yeah, that's true. Baseball preseason scrimmages going down this weekend, 2 p.m. Friday, 1 p.m. Saturday, 1 p.m. Sunday, 3 p.m. Monday. If you want to go be in that number, I'm sure you'll find Moose and Hunt at the box at some point this weekend. But gates will open 15 minutes before first pitch. So this is a great opportunity. If you have a kid who's baseball obsessed, you want to get eyes on this brand new, very exciting LSU team, which in all the major polls, where do they rank? Basically top 5 in every single one?
Usually 3 in every poll.
Yeah, so about 2 to 3 in the entire country. I mean, just great transfer portal class, great returners. This looks to be very complete. You want to go watch Chase Shores throw a little bit, everything else. It'll be going down in the box this weekend as we are about roughly 20-something days from the season starting. Does it start on Valentine's Day, maybe? I believe February 14th.
I think so, right?
Yeah.
Is anybody going to go to the box this weekend from here?
I was thinking about going, yeah.
Okay, what are you
time.
going to be looking for if you end up going?
I'm always looking at the bullpen.
Yeah.
Like, I love pitching rotate. I love pitching, so I'm going to be looking at the bullpen and the new transfers that we have that are supposed to be making a big impact on the team, like Daniel Dickinson that we talked about yesterday. Yeah.
Third-team All-American according to D1 Baseball and Daniel Dickinson. A lot of people hyping up Ianson as well. Even though I don't know if Ianson's in the starting lineup right now. Is he?
He's in the mix.
He's in the mix. Yeah, we will have to see. Zach says we'll probably check out the box tomorrow. Again, guys, it's really fun. It's free. Gates open 15 minutes before you go in, and you just enjoy yourself some baseball and get hyped up. Also, I imagine the weather should be pretty nice this weekend. I don't know if it will for sure, but that's kind of what I would feel. So LSU baseball right around the corner. You can almost taste it. It's fantastic. Guys,
how do we think like Hunt's feeling right now?
Oh, you know
what I'm
he's
saying?
excited, dude.
Is he at an 11 right now? I mean, you actually have it. Like, he can feel it. There's going to be a scrimmage this weekend. I know he likes to go out there. What is it? With a Coke Icy and something else. Like, the fact that we all know what he likes to drink while he's going to baseball practice lets us know how much he loves it because he talks about it so much. And so, like, him, Musso right now, probably on cloud 9.
LSU baseball plus 1,200 to win it all, says Scott Dice. Not a bad value play there if you want to rock with your Tigers to go home as national champions. Yeah, I mean, a Coke Icy is one of the best pairings to enjoy any sort of entertainment. Again, every time
favorite flavor of Icy is probably Coke for you, right, T?
Without a doubt. And every now and then I'll do a little Coke blueberry mix, maybe a Coke cherry mix as well. Like there's room for that. But if you were to give me just one with a bullet, it will always be a Coke Icy. There's too many good memories watching too many good movies with a buttery popcorn and Coke Icy. It's one of my greatest pleasures in life.
You know that, like...
Yeah,
sorry.
No. Alondra, I bet you've got a pretty good answer to this as well. So for me, it's peach icy, but you can't find it very many places. There's like 2 or 3 places in the port city and have a peach icy. It is S tier. It is next level. And maybe it's because you can't find it. And, one of those things where it's like, because it's not just easy to get, maybe it, even tastes even better, but I'm going to go peach icy. But Alondra, I feel like you have a really good answer to this.
I do cherry and Coke mix together. That's my go-to every single time. But I do like mostly Coke and then like
a dash
of cherry. Yeah.
I
and
agree.
then you just mix it up real good. But what I was going to say was, actually, I think I forgot what I was going to say.
Good.
Oh, I remember. So you know how like, whenever, I don't know, I guess I'll use like football season for y'all as an example when y'all were players, and you can like feel, I don't know if I'm explaining this right, but you can kind of like feel when it's coming up and like the nostalgia of it or whatever.
Yeah.
That's, if it's any indication of like how Hunt feels, that's kind of how I feel right now. Like I'm like, it's here, it's there. Like I feel like I'm at the box right now.
As an
I can feel
adult
it.
sports fan,
I can smell it.
I would rank the national championship run as
It was amazing.
Probably some of my top 5 fan memories of all time.
Yeah.
I mean, the terror and anxiety of every single pitch.
It was Wake Forest
against
games.
Tennessee, every single pitch against Wake Forest, every single pitch against Florida. I mean, I've never lived and died. Like, it was my first appreciation as an adult of just how insanely high stakes and locked in baseball can make you. And I think that this team, and again, I know last year is, on the whole, a disappointment, but you cannot lose sight of the way that team finished last year and what it says about Jay Johnson's ability to continuously tinker, continuously motivate, continue to get guys to not give up. I mean, that was a team that was dead and buried, that had no business whatsoever even making the postseason. And not only did they make the postseason, but you were, 2 outs away from, was it winning the Super, right? Or was it the regional in Carolina?
It was the region.
It was a regional. Okay, you were 2 outs away. You had Carolina on the ropes. The Carolina team that objectively was much better than you.
Yeah.
And you were 2 outs away. You just couldn't quite get it done. Well, this LSU team should be much better than last year's. Remember, last year's was kind of wild because all of your preseason bets, none of them paid off. The guys that you thought would be great, almost to a man, none of them were, meaning you had to kind of scramble, continue to find options, squeeze blood from the stones. Coming into this year, it would appear that Jay Johnson would have an overwhelming amount of options. And so when I see a coach who managed to do what he did last year with that team, you even think back to year one of Jay Johnson, when he was managing that pitching staff like an OCD obsessive doing Excel spreadsheets. I mean, down to every single pitch, right? Like now you give him this new crop of talent, and you see why they're ranked third. You see why you become incredibly excited about this game or about this season.
Hey, I am right there with y'all. And you mentioned kind of the lead up for the national championship game. I mean, Harlow was born like right after Tommy White hit the walk-off against Wake Forest. Like that is a memory that I will never forget. We're in the hospital. We're all watching it. I mean, Katie's sitting there watching the game like intently, like about to have a child, and she's still watching it. And then when Tommy Tanks hits the walk-off, it's like, okay, Harlow, you can come now. So almost like we were waiting until it happened. And so that run, like that's one of my greatest sports memories, like me being involved, not involved. And so that LSU baseball team, like if you didn't already love LSU baseball, that was the one that probably did it for a lot of people, or maybe even it brought a lot of people back that have, loved LSU baseball in the past, but maybe, it was a little bit of a drought to LSU standards for over a decade. And that one brought you right back. And so like that for me, like I'll always have that. And every baseball season, like starting with that one, and then what we've had, last year as well, like that was, that was an exciting run, and they fell just short, obviously, there against North Carolina. But I'm fired up for this baseball team, and they've got so many new faces, and we're gonna have to learn them over time. And we know the names, we know where they're coming from.
It's one of the most fun parts about
personality.
baseball season, though, is
No,
that fact-finding mission of knowing who we're gonna fall in love with this year. Like, sure, there was hype around Stephen Milam, but I didn't expect Milam to be the monster that he had become by the end of the year. Consistent clutch hits. Like it was fantastic watching that rise, watching the massive jump that Bear Jones took, and now wondering, can he make a similar massive jump, and what the hell would that mean for LSU? So yeah, it's fantastic. Alondra asks, where were you when Tommy Tanks hit the walk-off? I remember where I was. I was actually in the airport, and I was coming back from the beach with my wife's family, and there were a ton of LSU fans all in the gate. Everybody's watching on their phones. There was a giant impromptu celebration in the middle of the airport. It was one of the coolest memories I've ever had.
Dude, that time on OTB was crazy too, not just the baseball season. Jake was having a kid. You went to a fake wedding in Florida. Like you were flying back that day too. God, I remember that.
I
You
thought
lost
fake
your
wedding was this year.
I don't know. I think I might have just been on a family trip. You talking about my brother's wedding?
Yeah, this happened like 3 weeks before.
Oh, it was a fake wedding because I wasn't actually. You're saying fake wedding because they were already married.
They were already married.
Yeah, that's true.
But, I mean,
that was this year, though. That was this year.
That was this year.
Yeah, that was this year.
Also, we had some insane whiskey and wines during that championship run. Just some really unhinged clips on the morning show from that run after beating Florida, after beating Tennessee. It was.
I was producing that game. So I was like in the LSU studio losing my freaking mind. Like when I tell you Tommy hit that home run and I literally started like yelling and jumping up and down in the studio, I was losing my mind, and I was standing up like the entire time because my nerves were just so bad.
Who was the I forgot. Never mind.
All right.
My turn to forget what I was going to say. All right, let's go to break, and when we get back, more OTB.
Off the bench.
Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan, Injury Attorneys, 225-888-8888. That's right, all the eights at Gordon McKernan. But the bottom line is that he's going to be there for you when you need them, okay? You get into an accident, that sucks. It really does. But you know what sucks worse? Not having somebody who's going to advocate for you and get you what you deserve. And that's where the wonderful people like Gordon McKernan's Injury Attorneys come into play, because they're going to fight for you. And they get real results. And you go check out those real results at getgordon.com. You can also see all the cases that they handle. You can also check out their philanthropic endeavors by just clicking on that Gordon Gives tab, the community involvement. It shows you everything that they're into year-round in terms of giving back to the community that they are a part of. And then never forget that when it comes to NIL, Gordon leading the charge with the G Team. And so if you follow them on social media at Get Gordon, you see a lot of great content with your favorite athletes at LSU who are able to benefit and provide you with a ton of entertainment. So you get in an accident, get Gordon and get it done. 225-888-8888.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Got chores that need some extra muscle, but a large piece of equipment is overkill? That's what John Deere compact utility tractors were made for. Powerful enough for the work you need to do. Compact enough for how you need to do it. Find the equipment that's right for you at Sunshine Quality Solutions. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Wall-to-wall TVs mean you'll see every touchdown in HD. Place your bets and feel the thrill of every play.
Welcome in to the best morning sports-ish show around. Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Mike Waltz says, I swear I walked into my middle son last week while he was homesick watching a doc on the Omaha run. T-Bob in a Hawaiian shirt was on the screen going nuts. Great time. Yeah, that was a really good documentary made. Man, I can't remember off the top of my head. Taylor Montano, I believe it was. But either way, check it out if you haven't yet. It's a great way to
Montano?
Yeah, exactly. It's a great way to hype yourself up for LSU baseball. Speaking of hyping up, how about the NFC and AFC championships this weekend? And Jake, Taylor just showed me a stat that is legitimately mind-blowing. Now, I want to talk Jaden, so I want to talk Commanders Eagles, but let's start with Bills Chiefs. Obviously, that is the kind of closest, that is the Tom Brady, Peyton Manning matchup of our time, of the new generation, right? Patrick Mahomes playing the role of Brady, Josh Allen playing the role of Peyton Manning here. And Taylor, so these teams have played, give us the numbers for the last 10 times that these two teams have played.
Yes, I was showing you this during break. The last 10 times, they're 5-5. So 5 wins for the Chiefs, 5 for the Bills.
That's pretty good. That's pretty cool.
The Bills have scored 251 points in those 10 games.
Okay.
Kansas City Chiefs have scored 251 points in those 10 games.
What? I mean, can you imagine that? So you have a 10-game sample size. nearly an entire NFL football season, well over half of an NFL football season. And the two teams are split dead even on wins and losses and on points scored. That's actually insane. Who are we feeling? Obviously, being in Arrowhead feels like a massive advantage for the Chiefs. But the same way that you saw Manning eventually break through a couple of times in the dominant Brady run, I don't know, man. This Chiefs team, sure, all they do is win. I know they're faded. I know the referees are on their side. I got a good chuckle out of Gronk on the Up and Adams show yesterday saying one of the keys for the Bills would be to, if you sack Patrick Mahomes, don't sack him too hard, because otherwise, you're going to screw yourself. But I have the feeling that this is going to be one of those times where the kind of lesser counterpart breaks through. And I think Josh Allen and the Bills go on the road and win in Arrowhead.
I hope so. I can certainly hope so. I'm over the Chiefs. And I got a son that's right next to me in this next room that is probably not going to like hearing that, but I don't want them to win at all. We have seen you. You've been here. You've done enough at this point. And watching that Texans game and the way they protected Mahomes more than any other quarterback, I am just over it.
I mean, it's kind of insane. Like, two Texans knocked each other out, and they were like, flag on Mahomes.
I'm over it, man. Just give me the Bills. And the Bills have been so close before, and I was a critic of Josh Allen as far as the playoffs, certainly over the last couple of years, and he looks like he has truly turned a corner, and his supporting cast compared to the others, it's not even close. I mean, he has truly bettered himself, even though those around him aren't the same caliber that he's had in the past. And so I can certainly get behind that, and I hope the Bills, and I do think they have a great opportunity with the way they're running the football with James Cook now. They have a chance to go into Arrowhead and do what not a lot of people can do, which is beat the Chiefs in the playoffs.
The Bills deserve this, dude. The Bills Mafia, deserves this. One of the most loyal, most exciting fan bases, one of the most long-suffering fan bases in all of American sports. And the Bills, if you've been a long-time Bills fan, let's say you're 40-something years old. You've been a Bills fan your entire life. You have suffered in a way that almost no one does, where you suffered the ultimate heartbreak when you were awesome, consistently, losing the 4 Super Bowls, and then you didn't make the playoffs for like 20 years. So you suffered while at the top, and you suffered while buried at the bottom. And you've been scratching and clawing and slowly climbing out of that hole, and here is a golden opportunity to try and get back to Super Bowl once again. It does show you, though, that the Chiefs, this game is in Arrowhead. Why? Because the Chiefs just always find a way to win. Tay, what do you think? I got 1 minute, and then we'll get to the next segment.
I'm going with Buffalo Bills on this one, guys. I think Josh Allen's on a different level right now. You were talking about the penalty discrepancy, Jake was. Kansas City in the playoffs, +9. Next closest team, +2 in terms of penalties for and against. So there's a little something to keep an eye on. But look, I think Josh Allen's on a mission this year. He has been all year. Any criticism that was thrown his way, deservedly so. He had a turnover problem. He just looks like he's playing on another level. I know it's going to be super tough to beat the Chiefs. You just get that feeling in your gut that it's time that a team's going to do it, and I think the Bills are going to do it.
All right, when we get back here on OTB, let's talk about Jaden and the Commanders taking on Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles next on OTB.
Off the bench.
Go to Pinnacle Exterior Construction, PECbuilt.com, PECbuilt.com. You go to Pinnacle today, and they're going to be there for you. If you want to create the backyard of your dreams, because at Pinnacle, we create the spaces, we build the spaces, you build the memories. And that's what this is about, making your home the place that you want to hang out at, that your kids want to hang out at, your kids' friends. And so they're not going out, you have friends over, you're good to go. Maybe that's with a completely custom pool. Maybe that's with an outdoor kitchen, outdoor living area. You want to put a putting green back there. You want to put turf back there, bulkheads, bigger and better fence, pergolas, all of it and more. They are your experts, and I cannot recommend enough going to the website, PECbuilt.com, because then you'll see the gallery. And the gallery, the level of artisanship that they employ, professionalism is unparalleled. And it's going to blow you away. These are some of the most beautiful homes and construction projects that I have ever seen, and you get to take advantage of that. by going to pecbuilt.com. That's Pinnacle Exterior Construction.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At Atmos Energy, our smart choice solutions help customers save energy and emissions with rebates up to $500 off high-efficiency natural gas appliances, smart thermostats, and weatherization upgrades. Together, we're fueling our energy future.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered.
Welcome in to the best morning sports-ish show around. Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Tad and y'all, welcome back to OTB. Get ready to wrap up hour number 2, and we're talking NFL playoffs. Just broke down a little Bills, Chiefs, and Arrowhead. On the other side of the docket, Jaden Daniels and the Commanders heading to the Link to take on Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles. Alondra, how do you see this one playing out? Oh, what's up? You weren't. Why weren't you ready on the mic there? What's up?
Oh, probably because you skipped me in the rotation last
you thought I wasn't
segment.
going to throw it to you?
You weren't going to,
unless
I said
something.
It
looks like it looks like I threw to you first.
Yeah,
so
whatever.
you got to. I'm like Pistol
Whatever.
Pete. You got to stay ready. This pass may be coming from behind the bag. It be coming from all different angles. Get your hands up. What do you think though? Commies
For
Eagles.
Eagles or in Commanders or
Eagles
Bills,
Commanders.
Chiefs. So
We can talk.
Really,
We can kind of rehash it next hour.
Yeah. Obviously, I really, really want the Commanders to win this game. I actually think that they might have a chance too. Like, I'm kind of leaning toward the Commanders on this one.
Well,
I know Saquon is like unstoppable, but the Commanders defense is kind of like better than we give them credit for. I feel like we don't talk about it enough, but like I kind of am leaning toward the Commanders on this one.
Here's the question, Jake, and I'll pose this to you. Is anybody in the playoffs right now playing better quarterback than Jaden Daniels?
No, I don't think so, T. And I really don't think that it's that close. I think with what he can do, and you're starting to see like some of the all-time greats just really brag on him, and Tom Brady, the commentary, they're even blown away with what Jaden's been able to do. And he can do it so many different ways, and he's so cool, calm, and collected in the pocket. He's so good against pressure. And so when his numbers are what they are against the blitz and pressure, and you look at it, okay, well,
No.
Damn.
I knew he was gonna have a good answer too.
I know. It was rolling, and then the internet came and reared its ugly head.
But no, I actually don't think that any of the quarterbacks are playing better except for Josh Allen.
One thing I'm a bit terrified of for the Washington Commanders, the 30th ranked rush defense in the league.
Yeah.
Give up over 138 yards a game. And this is a Eagles team that obviously wants to beat you down with Saquon Barkley, have Jalen Hurts add in on the edges. Now Jalen Hurts seems to be a bit hobbled, so that's something definitely to watch going forward. But that's where Jaden's going to be relied upon even more, is that their best bet may be to kind of disrupt game flow. If they can manage to put points on the board, disrupt game flow, and try to force Philly out of being so run first. Like, if Philly is able to get an early lead, I think the Commanders, even though they've been so good in clutch situations, I think they could be in trouble here. Also, yes, the Commanders beat Philly at the end of the year, but that was a game without Jalen Hurts. Sorry, Jake, you were talking about Tom Brady and everybody else bragging on Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, and I think they realize like what he's done, and it's like, okay, well, we're going to pressure him because he's a young quarterback. We're going to kind of get him off his marker a little bit, and maybe he can't run. It's like, oh, well, he's elite against pressure, So it's like, okay, well, we can't really do that because he is dicing teams up. Well, let's just sit back and let's play coverage. Well, the problem there is if you drop 8 or whatever it might be, T, as you know, then he has all day. And then if you give him all day, he's either going to find the open receiver or he is going to do it with his legs because you're not getting that pressure. He's faster than you. He might be the fastest person on the field. I know we never got an actual 40 time from him, but there's nobody that really like catches up to him. And so you're damned if you do, damned if you don't against Jaden. And he is playing like in that like NBA jam. He's heating up. He can't miss type situation right now. And you mentioned that they beat him and it was without Jalen Hurts. And that's true. That is factual. But you also know this, T, from playing as long as you did. That gives you a confidence that, hey, we came back on these guys. They tried to throw the knockout punch like 4 times and we didn't allow it.
Yeah.
We came back. We fought to the end. We beat them not that long ago. We can do it again. And so it's a different team because of who's playing quarterback now. But it still doesn't change your belief in what you can do against the same uniform, the same helmet. They still Barkley, they had AJ Brown, like they still had Jimmys and Joes out there. And with the way that Jaden's playing right now, the way that everybody on that team is stepping up, and Bobby Wagner and Austin Eckler finding the fountain of youth, it is a confident bunch right now. And when you go bully a bully like they did against the Detroit Lions in their building, man, that goes a long way for me. I think they have every opportunity to win this football game.
Hour 3 of OTB next.
Off the bench.
Go to Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness, guys. YourGoodwood.com, YourGoodwood.com. If you are suffering from ED, you are maybe just low energy. Maybe you've been wondering, do I have low testosterone? I don't exactly know. If you're balding, you're aging, okay? This is natural. But guess what? We live in a blessed age in which there are treatments for this natural process. You do not have to go quietly into that good night. You can fight with everything you have. And so we're done letting embarrassment keep us mediocre. We're done being mediocre. We are going to maximize ourselves. We're going to Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness, getting our labs drawn, taking the first step to achieving our peak potential. And there's very easy fixes, guys, and it's all there. YourGoodwood.com. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. YourGoodwood.com.
At Atmos Energy, our smart choice solutions help customers save energy and emissions with rebates up to $500 off high-efficiency natural gas appliances, smart thermostats, and weatherization upgrades. Together, we're fueling our energy future.
Got chores that need some extra muscle, but a large piece of equipment is overkill? That's what John Deere compact utility tractors were made for. Powerful enough for the work you need to do. Compact enough for how you need to do it. Find the equipment that's right for you at Sunshine Quality Solutions. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Parish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs.
From your hometown, parishbuilt.com.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call
Good morning. It's 9 a.m. here on Friday, January 24th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect sunny skies with a high of 52. In hour 3 of today's show, Rivers Huey stops by the studio for a full hour of champagne shenanigans. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel. If you missed hours 1 or 2 of the show, you can catch it in the on-demand section at 104.5ESPN.com. Hour number 3 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Let's go, baby, let's go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah, 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 yeah!
Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Dude, they said I gotta come off the bench.
Now, here's Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
We're having y'all. Welcome in. Hour number 3 of OTB. T-Bob, Alondra Villarreal, Taylor Chapeau. And now we got Riv Huey in studio. We got Jake joining us remotely after his hellish escape from Atlanta. You can call him Jake Pliskin because he managed to find a way back. You like that, Jake? Figured you would.
Yeah,
Taylor, are you French?
You knew what that was going to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I wasn't when I started the show, but Rivers somehow more every day I get more and more French.
You get
So
more and
yes,
more French.
I am officially French. I converted, if you will.
Oh, okay. You converted. Yeah.
The French accent.
That checks out.
French accent is one of the most fun to exaggerate of all accents.
Didn't we
Because
one
you can
time?
sound more and more absurd.
Didn't we get in a fight one time about who was actually more French, and we ended up doing like I think I did like a 23andMe.
I think you ended up doing the 23andMe. I have no idea. Apparently, my old man did one of those, and he had a lot of. Oh man, he told me the other day. I think it was something Scandinavian, which maybe would make sense with my pale skin and
I think mine just came back like
abnormal size for the
there
Cajun
was obviously
people.
some French in there. I mean, my maiden name is Rester. So, I mean, like, I definitely know that there is French stuff going on.
Sounds pretty German.
But what I was going to say is actually, I think the biggest portion of it was like Eastern European. Like that was.
I always thought you were a criminal, so that makes sense.
Eastern European. I do know that some of my peoples came over on the Mayflower. No, we have like actual documentation.
I mean, so you're claiming Mayflower lineage? That's like American royalty.
They were servants.
Okay, still.
We were not the important ones
pretty
on
much
there.
everybody coming over were servants, though, right? Wasn't that the whole point? They were all being like kicked out of England or searching for a new church.
But
A
there was
lot
a
of
hierarchy.
indentured slaves.
There was probably a hierarchy on that ship.
No, there's definitely a hierarchy, but it was still a people without a land. But I mean, being able to trace directly back to the Mayflower is pretty strong. I know we come from two brothers, Antoine and Etienne Hebert, who just came over to Nova Scotia at some point, and then those dirty, rotten bastards, the English, forced them down here to this hellish swamp. But being such
English
a tough people, we have established ourselves, and now Hebert is the single most populous last name in Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
How about that?
That doesn't. I mean, yes, that checks out.
T-Pal says Rester sounds Italian. It sounds German to me.
I don't think it sounds German at
Sounds
all.
very Hostach. My throat hurts too bad.
sounds
doing a German accent.
If you put Von in front of a last name and say it, and it sounds more German,
von
it's German.
Rester. Oh, hello. I am Rivers von Rester.
The blonde hair and blue eyes really look German
yeah,
too.
pretty Aryan nation.
Yeah, no.
True.
Look, I'm a natural
Actual
brunette.
true.
I'm a natural brunette.
Okay, all right.
Because I'm
We'll give you that one. then.
Yugoslavia. That's where my great grandfather came from.
How do y'all know this?
You look pale enough to be from
Which is
Yugoslavia.
close enough to German, right? I mean,
I have no idea.
No, Taylor,
you're
you're
asking the
from
wrong
Sweden.
person.
There's nothing else you could tell me.
Truly.
Sweden.
How do y'all know where like y'all's
My dad got
ancestors are
obsessed with genealogy.
Oh, okay.
When he
I
retired
feel
from
like
playing
old
football.
people cared about that stuff. Like my great grandmother, like that's why I know about the Mayflower thing. She had like it's like these stacks of papers. Like somebody had done it. Like, but it was
Yeah.
very important to them to just like keep passing it down. And sadly, like I don't think that exists anywhere right now other than those like stacks of papers that are probably just like shoved in some desk in my parents' house. Like we should probably, put that somewhere. But people cared more about that then.
I think we'll probably care more as we get older. I mean, I think as you get
We
older,
won't have
you
as much
kinda
access to it. I feel like,
feel the
which is
allure.
kind of weird because we have so much access to so much information, but like because we didn't take care of all the other like the paper versions of
I
it,
wonder.
it's gonna get lost.
Yeah, I just don't want the Mormons to have my DNA. So I'm not gonna
do they run 23andMe?
That's what they say. That's what the
The
word on the
Mormons do?
street is. Yeah, that the
Okay.
Mormons
Word on the
run
street.
23andMe.
That's a little
I don't know too much about it, so I can't go into
that's a
more
little
detail.
interesting to me, given that
I don't even know if it's
23andMe
Mormon.
seems very kind of scientific, and the Mormons believe that Native American skin was brown because they rejected the teachings of Jesus. So that's, I mean, I don't know. That
What?
seems
That's
like
not-
Doesn't seem like
that's
science
not
to
true.
me.
it seems like those might
That's
be
not that's not
Bad
true.
science. It's
I think
bad
those
science.
might be at odds with one another, but I don't know. I mean, who knows, dude? That's the funniest part, though, about the social stratification of race, though, is you do those DNA tests, and what you quickly realize is everybody's just a muddled mix of everything.
It is everything.
So this idea of black, white, whatever, it doesn't make any sense. Like scientifically, it doesn't hold up any better. It's actually something that Book James, the Huckleberry Finn, kind of plays
I wonder
with.
how long it would take.
A little bit with is that same idea where it's like you could look white, but if you have one parent who's a slave, okay, you're a slave. It's all really dumb, and we're still in that same mindset. We haven't evolved out of it despite all of the
But-
scientific evidence that we have now.
If you're white, you're Ben Affleck.
It's true. As role models, I mean, what a crew that Role Models movie was. What a time
Underrated
and a
movie.
place. Underrated movie. It doesn't get talked about a ton anymore. I don't know what happened to that little kid. He was on a fantastic run there for a
He
minute.
was.
McLovin coming off of the super bad success. It was kind of one of those. You see that in comedy, I feel like, more often than most movies, where you'll get a cast that's very of the time that comes together and makes something really good for the time, but maybe doesn't stand the test of time necessarily.
Well said, T-Bob. Look at you.
The Mormons have an established legit monopoly on all things genealogy. Is this true?
So I actually just kind of looked it up a little
little
bit.
light
A
Googling.
Mormon did start 23andMe.
There you go.
But
Has anyone ever read the book The One? Anybody? It came out a couple years ago, but
Is it about
basically
Joseph Smith?
No, so basically it was like it's like a future time where, the government has all of our DNA and all the stuff or whatever. And what they do is you can submit and you can say, "Hey, I want to know." They will tell you who your perfect DNA human match is. You can either know it or not know it. And then but it's like that struggle of once you do know who your actual perfect DNA wise match is, do you end up with that person or do you end up with maybe you're already married? Like maybe you're already
That's actually kind of crazy.
I know. So
would you want to know?
Well, here's the deal.
Would
though.
you?
So
I don't know.
This
Would
gets
you wanna
into
know?
this gets into a deeper philosophical debate about nature versus nurture.
Sometimes they're already dead. You find out and the person's already dead.
Is this didn't they do like a Black Mirror episode like this?
I think there is something
Probably
very
something akin to it. I'm a big believer that nurture vastly outweighs nature in terms of you can be very naturally smart, but if you're not given access to education,
but I
you're
don't
going
think
to
it had
struggle.
anything to do with that. They had reasoning why they were your perfect. It wasn't just like DNA. There was
but
something.
this even gets into determination theory, where it's
once they tell you that that's your person, is it your person?
It's always there's the idea that because of how you're born and everything else, and I guess this is actually all the nature nurture wrapped up together. You are always going to make the decisions that you make because I don't know. I prickle a little bit at the idea that you would look at DNA and
would
be able to.
Would you do it? Would you find out?
No, because are you not sacrificing a hefty portion of your free will at that point?
I'm just asking.
I guess that's a good point.
Yeah. But would you always wonder,
But
If
you
it was
still
out
have the
there.
free will to choose
You
or
still
not
get to
choose.
In the book universe, is it proven, is it generally accepted though that it is correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Because that would be the biggest hurdle to overcome.
Well,
would be making people accept that
that's
it's
another
correct.
part of the book is so some people find out, right? So they start spending time with their person and they're like, "Oh, we do match." But is it because they want to match because they think that they match?
Yeah, the seed's been planted.
I don't know. That's the whole thing.
Yeah, the seed's been planted. It's like
But I think there was also some sketchy DNA stuff going on too in the background. It wasn't just about that.
your actions can make it real. It's like the idea, if I burn you at the stake because I think you're a witch, I mean, you might not have actually been a witch, but kind of functionally you were because you suffered anyway because of it. So my belief in you being a witch gave it a bit of reality because you ended up dying because of it.
Yeah.
So in that same way, if you believe that it's real and then you act on it, you kind of make it real. I don't know.
Taylor, are you going to find out? Would you?
Yeah,
I
I
know
would
what
find
Taylor
out when I.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm,
He's like,
I'm,
yeah.
guys,
He's
like,
like, yeah.
I mean, it'd be
the thing is, anytime you ask me something, I'm pretty much down for anything. I'll do it. It's fine.
He got 6 inches
Hey
the
now.
other day.
I'm down for anything.
I mean, pretty much.
Good. Come hang out with me then Super Bowl week, and we'll put that to the test. See how down you are, Tay Tay.
It'd be something like that would be very useful for me right now. But I don't think I would do it. Because it's kind of like playing God a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
It feels
that's part of the
Yeah.
book.
it feels like you're losing a bit of agency. Certainly.
Hey, Shane Beamer got extended.
Oh, really?
Sorry, I'm like,
Hell
giving
yeah.
you right now.
What's the details on the contract?
Here we go, Shane. Shout out, Shane.
Let's see. The extension runs through 2030 and increases his salary to more than $8 million annually.
That's so crazy because Jake, was he on the hot seat going into last year?
It wasn't boiling, but you hit the pilot. The pilot was lit a little bit. I mean, he had to do something. He had a little bit of extra leeway, but he had to go do something that was out of the ordinary for South Carolina, I think, to be able to survive, to have momentum. And you talk to people around South Carolina, it's like, oh man, we love Shane. We love him, but he needs to be consistent.
Yeah.
And so this is the beginning of it. And you can go back a couple of years, Spencer Rattler, that run they went on where they beat Clemson, they beat Tennessee.
True.
So it's there. So it's wild because it's there. It can be done. But it's like, okay, hey, we need you to do that more times than not. And that's kind of what they were looking for. And so it makes all the sense in the world. Everybody loves Shane Beamer.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a good football coach. Is your ceiling a national championship? Probably not. But if you can get to where you got this year, 3 out of 5 years, I think they'd be happy as hell.
Go ahead.
Well, I
Rich.
thought this was cool. The current contract, the current contract will increase his salary to a base of $8.15 million per year and will increase by $100,000 every year through 2030. But it said Beamer made sure to finalize the contracts of all of his assistants prior to the bowl game before
Smart.
he finalized his own deal, which I think is cool.
Did y'all see the ESPN way too early top 25 for next season?
Yeah.
Maybe just say no.
Yeah.
I saw
He's
you
like,
and
No,
Taylor both.
Bob, tell me
I
all.
heard
No,
you.
we talked
You
about
and
this
Taylor
yesterday.
both nodded your head. I know, but shut up. Everybody
Everyone in
doesn't
the
listen
room's
to
like,
every minute of the
yes.
show. No, we have not.
T-Bob, to be fair, I haven't seen like
There we go.
anything.
Yes.
So
Because you've been stuck in the fifth circle of hell,
Yes.
Atlanta TSA. So they got Ohio State 1. Alondra, your Longhorns coming in at 2. Shout out.
I think we need to stop doing that.
What?
They're not my
They are your Longhorns.
Okay.
You can be a
True or
Texas
false?
fan. It's fine.
But
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that they're like my number one team.
No,
They're not.
LSU's your number 1.
Yes.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
have 2 teams.
But who is your main team outside of LSU?
I guess it would be Texas.
And
Well, so
nobody
you're
else
just
here
asking her to
represents
pick a
Texas.
second team. That doesn't mean that
They're my team.
You're the Texas representative on the show.
She
Like,
cheers.
That's fine.
She is the Texas
Okay.
representative, but also she cheers for the Texas.
Okay.
For the Texas.
When LSU was out, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
you're Longhorns, number
Okay.
2. Penn State checking in at 3, Notre Dame 4, Georgia 5, Oregon 6. Very interestingly, Clemson and LSU 7 and 8. But why I bring this up is because look at number 10, BYU 9, speaking of Mormons. But look at number 10, South Carolina. So I find that to be a bit interesting considering all of the losses. I mean, losing Kyle Kennard, losing Debo Williams, losing multiple offensive linemen, Rocket Sanders gone. Jake, is that too much for South Carolina next season?
They do have a lot coming back as well. And you're wondering, can South Carolina absorb like losing guys like that, like some of the other major programs? Because typically if they lost that much, they wouldn't be anywhere close to the top 10. But I think Lenore Sellers kind of changes the math. There's a lot of people, T, that are incredibly high on him, like top 5 in the country high on him. And so their thought process is, okay, go get some people, place them around him. You've got the hardest part figured out, which is going to be the quarterback position. And he continued to get better game in and game out. Like if he stays healthy during the LSU game, we've talked about it. I don't know how that game goes. And so he's a game changer. And I think for that reason, along with the momentum they had this year, I'm not shocked that they're in the top 10 in the preseason. I would probably have them closer to 15, but when you have the guy at quarterback, and that's why a lot of us are excited about LSU and having Garrett Nussmeier, you're going to have a chance to be what we think you can be.
So speaking of quarterback, did y'all see On3's top 10 impact quarterbacks for 2025?
I actually did not see that. No.
Did not see this.
Y'all didn't. Okay. Number 1 on this list, Jake, your guy, Sammy Levitt.
Oh,
They
let's
got
go,
Sam
Sun
Levitt
Devils.
as the number 1 impact quarterback for 2025. Granted, look, probably a bit of this is engagement farming, without a doubt.
Yeah.
But it goes Levitt 1, Aller 2, Lagway 3, Arch 4, Sellers 5, Nuss 6, Carson Beck 7, Cade Klubnik 8. So again, LSU and Clemson rearing their heads in terms of a top 10. John Mateer, the Washington State transfer to Oklahoma at 9, and then Nico Iamaleava at number 10. What's going on here with Levitt at number 1?
Look, you go back and you watch like the totality of a season for sure, but you go back and watch the Texas game. There were so many big moments, T, that against one of the best defenses in the country, he just made a play on his own. 3rd and 11, and he finds a way to scramble for 12 yards, right? Outside of the one throw there to end the game, he made great decisions all night long. I don't think a lot of people, if you weren't watching the Big 12 all season, just realize how athletic Sam Levitt truly was. And if you compare that with, a couple of receivers that they've got coming in, and look, Kenny Dillingham, look at his quarterback track record. It's incredible of the guys that he's had as a quarterback's coach, an offensive coordinator, and now a head coach. And so like that probably goes into it as well. Now you don't have Cam Scatterbo. That's going to be a challenge for you. He's kind of your guy that when times got tough, you found a way to get him the football. But I understand Sam Levitt being in the top 5. I wouldn't have him at 1, but he is the real deal. And he is somebody that is going to continue to thrive. And we're still talking about a young football player as far as amount of starts that he has in college football. So it makes a lot of sense for him to be in the top 5. Again, probably wouldn't have him at 1. Like Mateer, I'm surprised, is all the way down at 9. That's somebody that we could certainly get into.
I think that's more of an Oklahoma critique than anything else, right?
That's probably fair.
Because
he's got his OC, though, coming over from Wazoo, where he had an incredible year. And so
But they lose Nick Anderson. I mean, didn't they lose? They lose Bauer Sharp. Like, Oklahoma loses everything. Brent Venables has done nothing to create any belief there. Like Mateer could be fine, but I don't know. As far as Arizona State goes, they do have one thing. They have a billionaire. Remember, we broke down that Sportico list a few weeks ago of the billionaires in college football. Their billionaire is Ira Fulton.
What a name.
Net worth not known. He's the founder of Fulton Homes. It's like a residential housing developer. But even though he's not reported as a billionaire, by 2005, he had already given away $265 million to charity. That has only increased. Arizona State has received $160 million.
Not giving away that kind of money unless you're a billionaire.
Yeah, exactly, right? He's given Arizona State $160 million, and now his disclosed sports been academics, but you got to imagine that's going to bleed over. Because, look, how do you create investment in college football? You have the coach and you have the quarterback. If you have those two elements, you can incentivize giving from your big money people. And that's what Arizona State feels like they have right now with a young Sam Levitt and a young Kenny Dillingham. Also, for what it's worth, Ira
I was going to say,
must be Mormon.
well, I was thinking that Ryan Smith had it right in the chat. Sounds like a vampire.
Well, he might be because he's also given $70 million to BYU. So he has some sort of, he must be a part of the cult somewhere.
Do you think that Mormons are tied to vampires?
That's why they're so obsessed with genealogy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are we?
They want to keep historical records.
Have we figured it out?
They've been alive the entire time.
Forever.
I actually played football with Andrew Hatch, and he told me in confidence one day that he was 182 years old. It was wild.
Well, that's how they all have so much money. They're just alive
They
forever.
build it over
They just
time.
keep building it over time. I mean, when you're
He's
live
300.
forever, yeah.
He's accumulated so much wealth.
He actually fought for the Union back in the
Andrew
day.
Hatch was that old? You would think being that old, he'd know how to read quarter halves, but he never found that skill.
Well, okay, joke's on you because when he was born, football didn't even exist. Give my guy a break, dude. He came to it late.
I mean, look,
He invented
he's had
football.
100 years. He had 100 years, though.
Yeah, I mean, but he was doing other things, fighting for the Union. He was heavily involved in the production of the original Model T. He had a very interesting life. Very interesting. So, yes, what we've learned in this segment is Sam Levitt's pretty good, Arizona State's pretty good,
Mormons
and
might be
BYU are
vampires.
vampires. 100%. When we get back, more Champagne Shenanigans. Keep it locked here on OTB.
Off the bench.
Get Gordon and get it done. 225-888-8888. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorney is going to be there for you when you need somebody to stand up for you and get you what you deserve. So if you're injured, get a free consult now by calling the number, all the 8s with your area code. Or you can head to getgordon.com. You can fill out a consult form right there online, and they'll get in touch with you immediately. You can also check out the cases they handle if you're wondering, are they going to cover me or not? And you can see real results from past customers. So understand. It's a tough time when you get in an accident. It absolutely sucks. Protect yourself by getting someone who's going to advocate and who's going to fight for you. And then also remember, Gordon, a leader in the NIL space with the G Team, which is one of the best reasons to follow them on social media because you'll get a lot of great content with your favorite athletes. Whether it be women's basketball, football, baseball, it doesn't matter. Gordon runs the gamut when it comes to getting it done with NIL. And get it done on behalf of you. 225-888-8888. Get Gordon, get it done today.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Got chores that need some extra muscle, but a large piece of equipment is overkill? That's what John Deere compact utility tractors were made for. Powerful enough for the work you need to do. Compact enough for how you need to do it. Find the equipment that's right for you at Sunshine Quality Solutions. Check out our current promotions and Learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756.
Welcome back to the 9th-ranked morning sports show in America. Off the bench.
Alondra, very good research by you on our Mormon vampire conspiracy here.
Do you want me to say what it was?
Yes.
So it's very possible that Mormons are vampires. They don't have crosses in their church.
So a quick Google search.
And then if you know vampires, you know that they don't like wooden crosses.
Yeah, they have a weakness to crosses. Also, a quick Google search says, no, Mormon churches do not have crosses inside or outside. Mormons believe that the cross symbolizes the death. They focus on the living Christ instead. And of course, what do vampires hate more than anything? Exactly. Vampires hate death. That's the entire point, right? They are trying to squeeze every bit of sentience and life that they can out of this thing.
And that's why they keep getting your DNA.
Yep.
Wow.
Exactly. Also,
you heard it here first.
They actually probably just drink all that blood, and then they send like
Mormons
BS results back.
Yeah.
Well,
they're just sending BS results.
You know who else is a BYU graduate?
Who?
Taysom Hill. How do we think he learned how to play all these positions?
That's true.
And even better news, if he's a vampire, Saints got him for another 15, 20 years minimum.
He's good to go, dude.
Minimum.
I'm just saying.
I think that's a really good. You did some real work there in the last 3 minutes.
Really
I
connecting
appreciate
some dots
that.
here, guys. Some major strides being made in today's champagne shenanigans.
T-Bob gave me a task.
And you really ran with it.
Yeah.
Knocked it out the park.
He thought I
Do we
couldn't.
think Taysom Hill gets hurt so many times because he's trying to fool us into thinking he's not
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, it's part of his
You gotta
plan.
kind of fake being human if
It
you're
could
a
be
vampire.
multiple
That's
things.
true.
And
Like
then
you have
when
to
he
learn how to
bounces back,
move around and
typically,
fidget.
like,
Yeah.
when Taysom bounces back, he's good to go too. So it's like he gets hurt a lot, but like it hasn't really kept him down either. So yeah, there's
Well, I've
something
been
to
on
that.
a lot of vampire subreddits lately as well, and in order to stay kind of
as
hidden,
one normally would, yeah.
they've
Among Us.
tried to move to drinking more animal blood.
Yeah, that's
but
the Twilight.
the restorative properties of animal blood are not near that of human blood.
Not as
And
rich.
So somebody may need to murder a couple people for Taysom Hill to make sure that he's good to go for next year.
How much
I don't think
blood
you have
would
to
he
murder.
need?
I don't think you have to
No,
murder
you
them.
have to bring him alive captive.
Do you think that's why the murder rate in New Orleans is so high?
Well,
Well,
it went
New
away
Orleans
for a
is
little
known
bit.
for lots of vampires. So
That
I
is
feel
true.
like
That is true. New Orleans
I'm
is
just saying
a
we're
vampiric
connecting
city.
a lot of dots here.
How much blood would Taysom need? Not like a full body's worth. Could he go with like a pint?
Oh, you're like willing to?
I'll donate
Is
a
he
pint to
microdosing?
Taysom.
What are we doing?
I'll donate a pint to Taysom. We can
Yeah,
do that.
donating's
Donate blood to Taysom.
Who would have the best
Blood
blood
for
to
Taysom.
drink? If you
Probably
were a
Jake.
vampire, whose blood would you want to drink? Jake's blood would be pretty
Wait, but just like
powerful.
blood. I mean, but okay. Well, okay, look, if we're going to talk about it like this, it's not like just the person represents their blood. I think different. It's not like because Jake's super athletic, his blood's gonna make someone athletic. Like, I don't know, what are the
No, but
qualifications?
he
of-
like eats right and stuff.
That's true. He
He
does
likes
eat right.
to
So
eat right.
clean gut
I was
bio.
thinking,
true.
I was thinking like who drinks the least amount, and it's
Okay,
like
like purest
definitely me
blood,
and Jake.
like-
But I also drink awful energy drinks, so Jake probably has
Yeah,
me beat
Taylor,
there,
your
so-
blood would not
Yeah.
do
But one
much
thing
for
Taylor
taste.
My
does-
blood would be better for like a substitute for like car gasoline, not necessarily for humans.
No. One thing that Taylor does have going for him, it is known in vampire lore that the blood of a virgin has super qualities. Extra
be
normal
Taylor, then.
qualities, if
Maybe
you
Taylor.
will. So, to be fair, Taylor would have to be one of the top candidates out there.
How do we know how Mormons feel about garlic? Do we know if they're
I do not
garlic
know.
eaters?
I know they don't like
I was
coffee.
always a little questionable about whether vampires actually hated garlic. I don't know. I feel like that's just something that we made up.
Doesn't
did
garlic
we
have
make
like
that up?
natural antibiotic properties?
Yeah.
And so it's one of
It's
the
like good for
reasons
you.
how it gained.
If you've got a cold, garlic is great.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go eat I'm just gonna eat an
Have you ever
entire
got those
bushel
like?
of garlic.
Have you ever gotten those little shots like the ginger shots? They usually have garlic in them too. Like it's like
Wait, if a clove of garlic is just a little clove, what's the whole bundle called? Does anybody know?
A bulb.
A bulb, yes. I'm gonna go eat an entire garlic bulb when I get home. Taylor has that NOS blood. Yeah. Which
That NOS
speaking of NOS, shout out to Vin Diesel.
What?
Shout out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
they're finishing.
He is healing Los Angeles one Fast and Furious at a time.
Because we needed more of those.
I mean,
he posted on Instagram a picture of him hugging Jordana, one of the actresses from Fast and Furious series. And he said, quote, "Last week during the fires that displaced LA, my sister Jordana reached out to me and said, please have Universal film the rest of Fast X Part 2 in LA. Los Angeles needs it now more than ever. Los Angeles is where Fast and the Furious started filming 25 years ago. And now Fast will finally return home. All love." So shout out to Vin Diesel and the Fast X crew for finishing the rest of Fast X Part 2 in LA to promote healing. Saving the day. It's a really impressive.
Is that a
race.
real story? That's factual.
yeah. No, he
that's-
really did post it.
It's
Yeah.
got 1.1
I mean, I don't know if
mil-
she
it's got
actually.
1.1 million likes on Instagram.
Yeah,
Wait,
he
is that-
posted it.
Is that word for word what he said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well then it's fake.
What's that?
No mention of family, not one time.
He said sister. And
Nope,
does
he
not
didn't say family, though.
He does not mean biological sister. They are not biological sisters. He said sister.
You're not
That is
biological
family.
sisters.
So you are wrong. Family was indeed mentioned there.
I did just do a quick fact check. I am on Vin Diesel's Instagram, and it is indeed there.
It is there, yeah.
It's the
It's time,
verbatim.
man. As the top comment underneath the tweet says, who needs a house when you got family?
Yeah.
You know?
Family.
Also, how else
family
were you
trouble.
gonna restore all the burnt?
I love that it's not even the whole movie. It's the rest of Fast X Part 2.
second half.
Fast 11?
It's like 2 weeks of filming. We've saved LA. Congratulations, guys. It's the meme of Vin Diesel giving a medal to himself. He's putting the medal on his own neck for his service. Shout out, Vin. It's time to heal. I don't really know. We transitioned quite nicely into that story. I don't know how to transition.
We
out
probably
of
just need to go to break.
Yeah, probably so.
Are we gonna talk about the Bills?
Let's give Audrey a chance to give her Bill's take since we skipped over her.
I meant Billy Corgan.
Last hour. Oh, yeah. Well,
But yeah, we can talk about
a
that
lot
too.
of bills
Yeah.
on the docket for this week. And keep it locked here on OTB.
Off the bench.
Hey guys, Boudreaux Electric. Been in business for over 40 years, guys. And if you need a generator, protect your family, protect your home, make sure the lights do not go out, you want Boudreaux's Electrical. And the thing about Boudreaux's Electrical, guys, this comes at a time when private equity is buying up all of these companies. What that means is you mean nothing more to them than a number on a spreadsheet. Nothing could be further from the truth when it comes to Boudreaux's Electrical. They are a family-run business. They operate as a family, and they're a customer-based business. Literally every single decision is made based off of what is best for the customer. That's been their mission statement, their core ethos. It's why they've had so much success. So, if you want to get that generator, make sure you're protected, go with one of the top Generac dealers in all of Louisiana, and they're going to have your back when crap hits the fan. There's a great story during Francine where their employees are literally out cutting down trees to get to a generator, make sure it's up and running. That's the level of service you get. Go to boudreauxelectrical.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps are held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. BRAC, your #1 park system in the nation.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Got chores that need some extra muscle, but a large piece of equipment is overkill? That's what John Deere compact utility tractors were made for. Powerful enough for the work you need to do. Compact enough for how you need to do it. Find the equipment that's right for you at Sunshine Quality Solutions. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at Sunny.
Secret destroyers hold you up to the flames. And what do I get for my pain?
Back to sports talk. Maybe. Off the bench.
Welcome back to OTB. So we're looking at stuff about the Mormon Church. We all know about soaking, but do you know about durfing?
No, tell us more.
That's what they call dry humping.
Why don't they just call it dry humping?
Because I imagine a lot more of it goes on there. And so having a more snappy term for it probably makes a lot of sense.
Durfing's a lot better too.
Durfing is great.
I like the name Durfing.
I wish I had known Durfing in high school. Oh, I love it.
Like the dry humping lobby.
Me and my wife used to do some Durfing back in the day. It was great.
Like we could come up with a better word.
Just rubbing denim. You know? Hell yeah.
Denim.
Some denim Durfing.
Nothing better than some deep denim Durfing.
Ooh.
The triple D.
Really get them going.
Because in that video where they're interviewing the students, one girl's like, yeah, I think he just wanted to durf. I was like, what? What's that?
Stop saying that.
Why? It's much better than dry humping.
Just imagine just grown people at a college being like, bro, You derfed with her? Bro, you derfed with her? You kidding me right now? You derfed? He's like, dude.
Did you derf him?
He's like, big time derfer. He's like,
You
bro,
might as well call me
Bro.
Danny Derf because I'd be derfing with
You
all
ever-
these hoes.
you ever derfed with other people in the room, dude? Are you serious?
Oh, whoa. A derf party?
A derfy.
Well, let's start talking about parties growing up with
I know,
T-Bob. Let's
T-Bob.
don't do that.
T-Bob, I think there was maybe some derfing happening.
T-Bob's childhood is so questionable.
He's like, we all
Darkwing
did
Derf.
And we're like, what do you mean we all?
Nobody did it.
T-Bob's
No such
just
thing as witch
excited.
porn.
Dangerous.
Is the
T-Bob's
we in
just
the room
excited
with
because
us
he
right
learned
now?
a new term.
Wait, so y'all never derfed?
Like, yeah, is the group derfing in the room with us?
right.
Like, we're
No, I never derfed in a room with other people. I mean, y'all never derfed, though, growing up? That's crazy. Everybody here is derfed.
Wait,
y'all are
speaking
just
of
not afraid
growing
to
up,
admit
talk
it.
about like my life like that.
Speaking
on the
of like
radio,
that
but-
probably age, I was gonna say this the last time when we came in with this with Smashing Pumpkins. I have this like
We're doing Smashing Pumpkins Day.
yeah, I didn't realize that until, but I have this visceral memory. This specific album, my dad had a billion CDs, you know, and so like I would like always as I got older, I thought they were a lot
the
cooler.
big-ass binder?
Yes, I thought they
Yeah.
were a lot cooler. Like I would steal and I had like an original PlayStation, and I can just remember in like
Yeah.
8th grade or whatever, being in my room playing this CD on my PlayStation and just feeling
PlayStation
so cool.
Yes.
Like I was like, I mean, I'm listening to Smashing Pumpkins, like, and this is like whatever. I'm like,
Well, have you
no big
seen the
deal.
Billy Corgan, Bill Burr story?
I don't know, what is it?
They went on the Howie Mandel podcast, or at least Bill Burr did, and then all of a sudden, Howie Mandel launches Billy Corgan upon Bill Burr. They look shockingly similar. And apparently Billy Corgan had gone on an early episode of Mandel podcast and told a story about how his stepmom had told him that his father had multiple families and that she believes that Bill Burr is his half brother.
What? No, I did not hear about
And actually, give me the. Well, actually,
don't
they
remember
curse.
if
They
they
curse
do,
in the
huh?
clip.
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
not.
they
Just
Bill
give me
Burr
the-
curses
yeah.
in the clip. But Burr's a little miffed by the whole situation.
He's mad about it?
Yeah, he's kind of like, I mean, why do you, he starts off with like, why do you think I never responded to any of that stuff? Like, you think I want to talk about this?
Yeah.
And now you're here, and he's like kind of mad about it. And Corgan's like, well, I'm sorry. Howie told me you were cool. Like, I can go. And Burr's like,
Oh, I
no,
hate
whatever.
this.
It's fine. We can talk about it. But then they go into stories, and I'm not sure if it's all a bit because look, they do look
feels like a bit.
shockingly similar.
Yeah.
But then he goes into stories about how, yeah,
Well,
they,
I mean, they
their
look
dad.
like Howie too.
Yeah, like you mentioned earlier, Howie being
but
there is
time out.
perfect.
Though. They look like Howie in that it's another bald, like very bald white guy.
Follically challenged for
But
sure.
but Corgan and Burr look like brothers.
Very similar eyes.
Eyes,
Yes.
mouth, facial structure, all of it. Like what if Burr was clean shaven here? It's not a far leap. And yeah, I mean, apparently, like even to the point where
When was that?
Burr was saying, I think it just happened.
Yeah.
But Burr was saying that, like, in his house, I think his dad only played, like, the piano and, like, the saxophone or something. And in Corgan's, he only played the guitar. And, like, Burr said that his dad told him he couldn't play the guitar because his fingers are too fat. So, kind of insane. Bill Burr, Billy Corgan, two very successful people, could be
what they
half
could do?
brothers.
Just get a DNA test.
Yeah, go to the Mormons. Couple things going on in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat. Apparently, Pete Carroll is going to be the new head coach for the Raiders.
Okay.
he
We,
did.
But also-
we told you. LouisianaSports.net, Ross Jackson had that earlier, that's the direction they
Shout
were
out,
leaning.
Ross.
Yeah. Also, I was going to say this. The Dana White thing where Dana White like stormed out of the Howie show. Or do y'all remember that when that kind of went viral
No.
a few months ago? Like Dana White got quote unquote upset and like stormed off the set of the Howie show. And that was like a bit too. So that's why I'm just kind of
Oh,
like,
is
I
it
don't
all a
know.
bit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't Howie a
it's Bill
magician?
Burr.
Isn't Howie a magician originally?
I don't know.
Am I making that up?
He was a
I don't know
comedian.
Howie
Howie was a
lore like
comedian
that.
originally.
I don't know Howie
I don't
Mandel.
know where you
lore.
came up with magician, but maybe.
He doesn't feel like a magician.
No,
to y'all?
he was definitely a comedian.
Are you just basing that assumption on vibes? Are you like
I always thought he was.
Nope.
Just a TV host, I guess. Yeah, I mean, but
that Talk Sports guy got excited for 11 seconds?
well, why? Because we were Chiefs or what game?
Okay, yeah, timeout before I do that.
Wow.
The Pete Carroll thing, like, I don't know what would interest, I guess getting back into it, but like, I don't know what would interest you to go head coach for the Raiders.
Because
just
coaches
have an
are
itch.
cut from a different cloth. Why in the hell
Yeah.
did Dan Mullen leave millions of dollars at Lake Oconee, finally
fair.
getting to
I
see
was
his
so
family
sure he would never coach again.
get
Because,
to like
because Mullen to me, obviously he's a good coach or he wouldn't have succeeded. But his vibes to me are not the same
No, he
as
felt
like
the
your
most
like
normal.
hardcore coach.
Yeah.
Like he just wants to wear his Jordans and he wants to like vibe out on
Well, he
TV
hated recruiting.
and like he just wants to hang out and make money.
Like, if you're normal, you hate recruiting.
Yeah.
And he
This
hated
happened
it to
with
the point where he just stopped doing it at
This happened
Florida.
with the Cardinals when they fired Cliff Kingsbury. Cliff Kingsbury's like, guys, I'm taking trips overseas. I've never been on. Like, I want to do this. I have
Live your
no
life.
interest in getting back into coaching anytime soon. That lasted one season.
Yeah.
Yeah,
crazy.
sabbatical. I mean, I guess when people take a sabbatical, it's sooner like a year, though.
Yeah.
But
Which
but
Mullen
still,
had
Mullen
done.
going to UNLV when
Yeah,
he
it's
has just
like
this
some
cushy TV
Deeply
gig?
wanting to coach.
Yeah, so they're just different, man. And Pete Carroll really was not bad when they moved on from him.
No.
And so yeah, he's he's a very youthful 70 whatever he is.
Well,
Mullen
that's
wanted to
kind
derf.
of why, like,
Mullen wanted to derf.
Yeah.
Well, is UNLV Mormon?
I
No.
don't think so.
I mean, it's
UNLV
Vegas.
they're
is
in
not.
Vegas. I don't think so.
I
That's-
think
that's
they're
like- that's like
atheists
you-
out
I don't know.
there.
Isn't
Say
BYU
they're
like
godless
undefeated in
Las
Vegas though?
It might
BYU
be.
has some crazy
Yeah, because they
record in
bring
Vegas.
faith
Yeah, exactly.
in a land of sin.
They shield themselves in the armor of the book.
Yeah.
As they descend into Dante's sixth circle of hell. It's right after Jake at TSA Atlanta.
Seriously.
The next one is Las Vegas.
Yeah.
What is 7?
Through Atlanta.
What is the 7th circle of hell then? Being Ryan Day's gray hairs? You're just never allowed to exist. Would
Bro,
Ryan
on.
Day be more likable if he would just let his gray go?
I think
Yes,
so, but also
absolutely.
Like, right? Wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Like, dude, it looks painted. His hair
Yeah,
and
I think
facial
if
hair
it was
looks
just wasn't
painted
so.
on.
There's a way to do it without making it look like that.
They have that thing.
Like
they have that
you don't.
thing,
It doesn't
touch of
have to look
gray.
so severe.
They have that thing,
Like,
touch of gray you
yeah,
can use, and like it
just a
takes it
little,
all
like,
out, but a little.
just a little
Yeah.
salt and pepper. Just a little.
Yeah, love a little gray.
Yeah. Women have been coloring their hair for a long, long time. I mean, some men do too, but I mean, like, and women aren't walking around like that. Like, just get a normal person to do your hair.
Yeah.
Stop doing it yourself.
Rivs.
Ryan Day, by the way, was incredibly happy, as you can imagine, during the game.
I mean, bro, to go from
You could
his
almost feel it.
to go from his shocked, lost impression after they expression after they lost to Michigan and the fights going on, and he's so shell shocked. Like, he looked like he had spent months on the front lines in World War I after that game. So to go from that to a championship, yeah, I imagine he's pretty friggin' happy. Scott Dice says Kyle Fields the answer. Weigh in on this real quick for me, Rivs, as someone who experienced it. So Michigan finally gets a national championship 2 years ago in football. They're so happy, it happens again. And then the next year, Ohio State grabs it. You went through something like this with Mississippi State and Ole Miss recently. What do you think Michigan fans are feeling right now?
I mean, not great.
Yeah.
Not great.
Yeah, it sucks.
It is. It's like very like.
You want to be able to stand on that bragging right for at least half a decade.
For just like a second.
Yeah.
For just
Yeah.
a second.
You only got one off season.
I mean, it doesn't make me wish it had not happened,
No, for sure.
But
For sure.
like, ugh.
Yeah, it
Just
sucks.
share it now.
Yeah, it sucks.
Sharing sucks.
I guess Michigan can still say that they beat Ohio State, but that's kind of going to ring hollow a bit. All right, when we get back, let's close out with Ask the Bench, brought to you by Cole Kurz Light. Visit our Tilton Blue Moon Lights, guys. Sit your suite.
Off the bench.
Go to All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.com, All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.com, the place that is there for you when you need them. You go to All-Star, and they're going to make sure that you and your family get whatever vehicle you're in the market for. And you can go to the website, or you can go see them right there on the airline in Goodwood. You can search by keyword, make and model. You can search by budget. What they're going to do is find you an answer from their inventory, or they can even custom order you what you want. So whether it's new or a Toyota certified used vehicle where you still get great warranty coverage, we have the answers at All-Star. You can also test drive what they got there on site. You can get a feel of it beforehand. But I mean, I don't know. It's about the people, right? Like, that's what separates these businesses. And whether it's sales, the service department, top to bottom, the people at All-Star are fantastic. And they're going to work and leave no stone unturned when it comes to getting you the answer that you and your family need, whether that's financial or functional. Go to All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.com today.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. service Chevrolet Cadillac. Our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. For a weekend dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever one, you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the legal and finance with the latest in office technology. From desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985.
Back to sports talk. Maybe. Off the bench.
Welcome back, guys. Wrapping up another fun Friday champagne shenanigans. No champagne today.
No champagne.
I didn't even
T-Bob
notice that we
requested.
didn't have
T-Bob sent me a text message and said, I don't think I need champagne today.
He's doing
That's
dry
how you
January
know.
during the day.
I know.
That's
I
how
was like,
you
T-Bob
know
is in a
T
bad
feeling
way.
well,
Yeah,
Which I'm fine with. I don't
I'm in the
feel
middle
pretty
of a dry January.
He's,
right
I think his dry January has been like 13 hours now, something like that.
now. I mean, I don't think I've
I've
had a
been-
drink since Wednesday.
I have
so
been
yeah.
to Superior 2 days in a row. So my dry January
make
is
it 3?
just... might as well. Might as well.
Ask the Bench, brought to you by Cold Coors Light,
Go to
Busy
the
Hard
block,
Seltzer,
then to Superior.
Blue Moon Light Sky Citrus Sweet. If the Saints move on from Carr, who should be the next QB not named Rattler? Who knows?
Draft a
dude?
guy.
They're talking about maybe the Giants wanting to trade for Carr. I doubt it, but even if you don't get a quarterback, I think you have to take anybody that wants to take on Carr, no matter what it does to the cap, simply so you can get more resources to start to rebuild this team, because you need everything right now if you are the New Orleans Saints. Hey, guys, I want to remind you about our friends at Go Bearded. That's gobearded.com. So many men settle. They plateau. They never let their beards grow. But check it out, man. If you had quality beard products, you had helpful tips from your bearded brethren and challenges to help your beard grow, wouldn't that be awesome? So if you're ready to grab life by the beard, join the brotherhood. Let's grow together. GoBearded.com. Remember, this is Tommy. Tommy Windows Door Inside. It started this years ago, and I went and judged the beard competition for him. It was awesome. So if you have a beard, you want beard products, GoBearded.com is your local answer. Hashtag Ask the Bench. When's the last time you durfed?
I hate that word.
I love
Hey,
it.
I hate
I
hate
can't get behind Durf.
I know. Thank you, Jake. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's not.
Well, generally, you're not behind when you're derfing.
Who knows?
I mean, you actually can be.
Yeah,
you actually can be.
As
Talking about
you've been in a Mardi Gras
logistics of
ball where
derfing
you've
here?
been plenty of derfing from behind.
Sounds like T-Bob needs a little more creativity in his derfing
grinding
activities.
and derfing, two completely different things, guys. Now,
How?
I wouldn't expect y'all small brains to be able to understand.
What
but they
makes
are.
them different?
What?
What makes them different?
How
How are you gonna do
can
this?
I say this without getting too
Okay, all right,
graphic?
just stop. No, just stop. If you pause to think about it,
Yeah.
it doesn't need to be said.
One is going to simulate the actual act more than the other. Grinding is not.
Okay.
Grinding is a tease.
That's fair.
Tease. Derfing is further along the road to,
I'm
If
actually
I
a little
could,
disappointed in you,
actual
T-Bob.
sex.
I thought you were different, but here you are just derfing in the same position over and over and over again.
I think there's
total lack of creativity.
I kind of feel like, I'm probably
Taylor
wrong
is
here.
calling you out for lack of creativity.
I'm probably wrong here because I'm sure that BYU students have discovered many ways to derf, but in my mind, missionary derfing is really all that's on the table.
Yeah.
It is the most
bottom or
intimate
top
of
does
all
not
the
matter, but I
all
don't
the
know how
derfing.
you would derf in any other way. Maybe if
Yeah.
you did like a scissor derfing. That
Okay.
could
All right,
potentially work.
hashtag
I hate to
ask the bench.
yeah. Real quick, hold on. Sorry.
She's
I've
like,
been trying
wait a
to
minute.
get this in since like the live read ended, but if we could go back to Tommy's real quick.
Yeah.
They're going to be at Lamar Dixon Saturday and Sunday
Okay.
at the home and remodeling show. So if you stop by his booth, number 208, and tell him T-Bob sent you, that'd be very helpful.
Hell yeah. Go tell them T-Bob sent you. Go check out the windows, doors, and siding.
Hey, I can't send people to Tommy.
Hardy Plank
can
Vinyl
too.
Siding, Woodard Vinyl Windows.
T-Bob or Jake sent you. I'm just
Energy
reading off the
efficient,
email.
lifetime warranty on these
I'm
items.
just
Reading the
reading
email.
the
Look, guys, I'm
email,
just reading the
I'm trying
email.
to help us out here.
Ask the bench, favorite vampire movie.
Twilight.
30 Days of Darkness.
Interview with the
with the
Vampire.
Vampire is
Yeah.
actually great.
Interview with
Like,
the
I was-
Vampire. I was a
for
real
sure.
Anne Rice stan when I was.
Wait, what was yours, Jake?
The Lost Boys.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I don't know that I've ever like really loved a vampire movie, so I think I'm gonna have to go with Nosferatu.
You don't like any of the Anne Rice stuff? You
I've
give
never-
me Anne Rice
I've-
vibes.
Yeah, I've never watched all of Interview with the Vampire.
You
so
read
I was like
any
a
of
little
her?
kid. No.
Oh, you would
Interview
love
with
Anne
the
Rice.
Vampire is great.
Yeah.
I
And the
just
movies
say
are
Shout
fine,
out
but like
for the
Nola native
nostalgia.
Anne
Yeah.
Rice.
Friday
Legend.
Night's a fun one.
That is a fun one. Ask the
it
bench.
What's
I like all of
the
them.
what's
You can blame
the what they do in the shadows? That one's fun.
Oh my
that's
god,
funny.
that
Yeah,
movie's
yeah,
good,
yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
That is a good movie.
This one where Johnny Depp plays
that actually
the
might be my favorite.
Dark,
Not Johnny
Dark
Depp.
Shadows.
Dark
it's-
Shadows. Yeah.
Oh,
Dark
yeah,
Shadows.
it's Johnny.
Dark Shadows.
Dark Shadows. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No, that's Dark Shadows. What We Do in the
Yeah,
Shadows is
It's
the
a
one with
comedy.
Jermaine from Flight of the Conchords.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's made
that's
by
right,
Steve
that's
Martin.
right.
Is that a TV show?
They made
They
a TV
did,
show
yeah.
out of it
Okay.
afterwards,
Okay.
but it started as a mockumentary. It's so freaking funny.
Yeah.
Ask the bench, which LSU baseball jersey, past or present, is the best?
Give me pinstripes all day.
I like the Sunday uni.
I like that block letter L, but
Can I
that's
request
not what
that-
you're going to wear all the time.
I tweeted this out the other day because somebody tweeted Mississippi State uniforms, but they were like the elastic pants ones. Can we just get rid of belts in baseball and just go back to elastic pants? I think belts are so dumb for baseball players.
Well, can't you just wear pants or belts with the elastic pants?
No, I don't
Yeah.
want the belt. I want to get rid of the belt. I think the belt is dumb. You're playing a sport. Why are you wearing a belt?
I don't like the
It's always
coaches
been
in
standard.
baseball.
I mean, you
I
wear a
know, but I
belt-
don't like
you
it.
have a
I think
belt
it's-
built into
I
your
think it's
football
silly
pants
looking.
too, though.
I-
You have a belt built into your football
Yeah,
pants.
but this is not built in. They like literally put the belt on. It's like going to work.
I think it looks weird without the belt.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Let's go to elastic.
I think this is a weird hill to die on.
I'm living on this
too
hill.
Firmly,
This is a hill that I'm going to live on.
I support belts.
I'm pro belt.
Hashtag
Yeah, I'm pro belt.
Pro
Nookie
belt.
They're
wants
dumb.
to know how Rivers feels about Tony Vitello.
I think obviously he's very good looking. I know baseball players who have who know him who really like him a lot. So I get LSU doesn't like him, but
I think he has a tiny PP. Y'all have a great day.
Off the bench.
Go to Trash Rangers today, guys, and make the switch. If you want reliable and hassle-free trash removal here in South Louisiana, we got you. And if you're a business owner, we understand the varied needs of being a business, right? And how maybe you need front-load dumpsters emptied 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, even 6 days a week. We got you. We got multiple sizes of front-load dumpsters, of those big roll-off dumpsters ready to go if you got a big project or whatever. The bottom line is we're a local business. We understand, okay? If you're looking for residential trash pickup and you live in a Livingston or Ascension, chances are you've seen the red cans popping up all around your neighborhood. Well, right now, we got a great deal going on. You can get involved for just half off. That's right, as low as $13.95 a month to make the switch to a local company that's efficient, that's reliable, has over 1,000 5-star reviews, that gives a damn about you and the community they're a part of. Go to trashrangers.com today.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Got chores that need some extra muscle, but a large piece of equipment is overkill? That's what John Deere compact utility tractors were made for. Powerful enough for the work you need to do. Compact enough for how you need to do it. Find the equipment that's right for you at Sunshine Quality Solutions. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have